Salute, and welcome. Welcome back over here to the Black Ocean, ladies and gentlemen. You're now swimming in the deep end with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. And yes, oh yes, y'all knew I had to do this. You know I had to do it. I had been waiting to see what the aftermath was going to be. Now that Miss Ann, aka Pearl Davis, every favorite buck dancing Sambo's favorite Miss Ann Mammy, whatever you want to call her. Oh boy, the coons have been putting the coon capes on left and right. Look, let me tell y'all something, man. As much as I'm making light of this is pathetic, but it's good at the same time because now we're seeing a damn superhero team or supervillain team of coon Avengers hop out the woodwork to defend this Gila monster face heifer. Man, oh my God, this is pathetic, family, but it's a good reason for this. It's allowing us to see where everybody stands. I mean, look, I'm like this. Some of these people that support this heifer might be subscribed to certain people's channels. And when they find out where our stances are, they're going to get the hell on, okay? It's a cleaning of the house. That's good. Every house needs a spring cleaning, okay? And this is what we have going on in New Black media spaces and in the entirety of online spaces as far as Black society is concerned with this issue. Because, see, we got to give props where props is due before we even get into the meat of what we're going to discuss here tonight. Salute to our good brother, Jason Black. Some people have a problem with the way his tone was and this, that, the third. That isn't even the issue we're discussing here. You got an issue with that? Go take that up with that man. We're discussing what he brought to light. See, family, let me explain something to the grown people, and I want the young people listening to this live or recorded to hear what I'm about to say next. I've said it many times on this channel, but I would be remiss if I did not say it at the onset of this broadcast here tonight. Life is not about what you like and don't like if you wish to move through it with intelligence, integrity, and any sort of power. Learn to move through life doing one of two things. Really, one simple question. Ask, is it true or is it false? That's it. That's all you need to ask. Is it true or false? True or false? Then you go from there and make whatever decisions you need to make because, see, when you do that, you find yourself knowing where everybody stands. You find yourself looking at all the cards on the table, and you will make the best decision possible for you. So now for Black people, because I don't expect anybody that's not Black to understand where Black Americans are coming from, foundational Black Americans, don't expect you to know. It's not a life or death issue for you, especially if you're somebody that can be classified as white in America. Wouldn't even expect you to understand, not talking to those of you that category or that description fits, okay? What we have on our screen here, ladies and gentlemen, is something I want to direct your attention to because many of us in New Black Media have showed you this chart, but I thought it would be a perfect time to bring this back up here tonight. So we're looking at the chart that details the basic framework of the system of white supremacy. Let's go over it one more time, shall we? Let's direct our attention to the left-hand side. You see everything in the middle. There are lines showing you the relation to these things. We're going to go over this one more time because those of us over here in New Black Media Spaces, we know this, but there are people that find our channels, whether they're large or small, that may not know this information. Some of them are young people that don't have people to teach them this. Some of them are older people that might have ran around naive for whatever reason, trying to go along to get along. So we're going to provide the accurate information over here tonight. So let's look at this left-hand side. You see the white supremacist politician and lawmaker, okay? That's one of the central figures of white supremacy. Then you go down right below that, the mainstream media that protects the races, okay? Because we see how those narratives are being spun, especially when we look at the current situation of the brother Jonathan Majors with the situation he in. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to cover that. I'm gonna have to cover that because see that's a lesson that these brothers better learn it. Brothers and sisters better learn that dealing with them folks, okay? Because we see how the mainstream media is treating him, but we got to make sure at the same time that we don't put ourselves in certain situations to make it easy for these people to deal with us. That's a future broadcast. I'm gonna get on that very soon. Now, right below the mainstream media component of the system of white supremacy, you have the white supremacist social media trolls. Okay, so now A lot of people be thinking, oh man, they just trolls. They ain't no big deal. Nah, let me tell you something, right? It's one thing for them to just throw insults and be insulting. It's another altogether when they are paid, and you listen to me what I'm saying, when they are paid by white supremacist think tanks, white supremacist media outlets, okay? You think these people don't have their own trolls? See, let me tell you something, how you can spot the trolls that are paid. Good example of this, you look on any of the brothers, the three brothers who represent the face of New Black Media, Brother Tariq Nasheed, Brother Jason Black, Professor Black Truth. Go look on any of their social media, especially Twitter. Just see how all those trolls just always in there repeatedly, day after day after day. It's one thing to do it every now and again, but just consistently like that, people don't do something for nothing repeatedly like that unless there's a benefit in it for them. And that benefit when it's monetary, oh, trust me, we all know the saying, money talk, bullshit walk. Especially these trolls, they ain't got nothing going on in their life. You think, man, they won't pay these people? So there's that component, all right? So then when you go across here to the right at the bottom, the racist man and the racist woman, okay, in the dominant society. All right, they have $1 million worth of whiteness, which they can cash in at any time, whether they're the wealthiest white person or the poorest white person, right? Go right on across, further to the right on the bottom, you have the white supremacist jury members. Oh, yeah, see, and this is the other thing, too. I got to throw this in here because we know about the white supremacist jury members. We expect them to do what they're going to do. The other part we're going to further address here tonight in a little bit, when you have white supremacists in blackface, that will go right along with those jury members. Remember, I mentioned on the previous broadcast, where you have a black person with a coonish mindset sitting on a jury. Hey, that's all white people sitting on there, basically. If you're looking at the mindset, you guilty no matter whether you prove it innocent or not. So this is why we can't afford to play with these coons. So now let's go on up. On the left-hand side here, the next thing you see, white supremacist prosecutors, okay? We already know what that is. That's self-explanatory. You are guilty, especially as a black person, until you're proven innocent. Then sometime when you're proven innocent, you're still guilty. Above that, you got the white supremacist judge, okay? Self-explanatory. Then let's look in the center here, okay? You see, got your white supremacist codes. Out down on the left side, you got your race soldiers pretending to be cops, all right? We don't even need to go into detail about what they do to black people. Go on further down, across over here, you got white supremacist police unions, which back up the race soldiers. So that's why it's so damn hard to get them charged and produce justice. All right. So now I wanted to take the time to go over that with you all here because we have to put things in proper context with what's at stake here with this Pearl Davis issue. Okay. Pearly things. All right. With her little anti-black racist white supremacist ass. I'm going to call this bitch what she is. I told y'all. I tried to give you advance warning. This is not going to be a sugar-coated broadcast. We're going to put everything in the proper context over here tonight. I am not the polite guy. Don't give a fuck about people's feelings as long as I'm telling the truth. So before we do that, let me take the time to greet my audience over here and see who we have in attendance with us here tonight. I thank you for taking the time to join us because we're going to go through a lot tonight and we're going to make it very, very educational. I see my sister V. Mosby. Welcome to the Smurf team, sister. I had to go ahead and rent you up. I see my brother Sidonian Snow. I think brother. Okay, Sidonian Snow. I'll just say that. Diesel Mike, sister Devin Haley over here. Oh, my good brother Torian Rain Reloaded. What's going on, my brother? What's going on? Welcome. If you're not subscribed to this brother's channel, please do so. Dwayne Williams in the building. Stevie from BV, holla if you need me. All right, I like that name, brother. Welcome over here. Only Pamela's way. I see you, sister. Oh, Glambo, what's happening? Unique Glam. Hey, my sister, what's going on? Glad you made it. GB King Harris over here in the building. Tori Ellis is with us as well. Ashley Frimpong, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. My good brother Project Leroy. DSA1, what's going on? I see you, Maxwell Jenkins. Michael Williams, and oh, wow, boy, I tell you, I'm just not getting started. I have to acknowledge their cash app already. Let me make sure I get this right. Okay, let me look over here. I'm juggling a couple of things. Okay, Melvin Franklin Jr., man. Hey, a salute to you, brother. Appreciate that cash out, family. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this lesson here tonight because, see, family, we're in a time in our history as Foundation of Black Americans. We can't afford to be playing games about this cooning. There are certain things where it's just a matter of opinion. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to opinion. But when it comes to playing with racism and white supremacy, hell no. If you smart and you got any sense in your head as a black person, you know damn well that's not something we can play with. See, let's look at something, right? Before we get on with this. Jewish people. Oh yeah, I'm going to use them. Because again, I like that their model as far as defending their people. They got it right. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Jewish people, look at this Gila monster we looking at on the screen here. And, oh yeah, I'm going to go in. I told you I'm not going to be polite. If you one of her fans, you subscribe over here, you're going to hate me after the night is over. If this heifer would have come out her mouth, same scenario, talking to Nick Fuentes, and then that turn would have gone more towards disparaging Jewish people, because Nick Fuentes did say some crazy shit in that interview, okay? But think if she would have just stayed on that, and they would have made all the little comments they made about black people and all that. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen TBA's broadcast, and everybody else has just reviewed this. Even the buck dancing Sambo is trying to defend this Gila monster face heifer. Do you think them Jews would play with that? Again, we saw how they took it when Kyrie Irving just posted a link. See, the lesson is being on code and making sure that you're respected as a people. And see, these buck dancing Sambos and coons are sitting up here tolerating this and trying to give her a pass. I got news for you. You don't speak for the whole of Black America. And I speak for on code Black America. I do. Okay. The coon class is over there. It's time for a separation. This has been long overdue. Because, see, let me tell you what else is pathetic about this family. You take a good look at this screen. Oh, I'm finna go here, damn it. I done told y'all. I'm finna open up over here tonight. Look at this. You buck dancing Sambos. This woman is hideous. I ain't playing with it. The kid gloves are off. This woman is hideous. She ain't even an attractive white woman. And you sit up here and sell your people out for this? I guarantee you she will never do a show chastising or criticizing white women or white men the way she's talking about black people. I promise you this heifer won't do that. But see, you coon Negroes that's sitting up here with the cape on for this heifer, you are the ultimate disgrace. But I'm glad you coming out and making your stance known. That's one thing we need to give them props for, family. We do. I applaud them, the ones that have been bold enough to stick their chest out and put this cape on, because, see, I'm finna go ahead and set another firestorm here. One of the things we damn sure have to look at, like we have been with everything over here that's going on in Black America, we need to look at exactly who it is supporting her. Oh, yeah. A lot of non-FBA tellers love this heifer, even the ones that's employed by her. See, let me go ahead and make something clear before we get on with this tonight. Family, one of the things that I like about our tribe, Foundational Black Americans, a job is something that you need to help you pay your bills, okay? Everybody got to make a living. I ain't got no problem with that. I will tell you one damn thing that I respect about our people, and somebody tell me if I'm lying with what I'm about to say. We don't give a damn what job it is. When you start disrespecting us, fuck your job and everything it stands for. You can take that motherfucker and shove it up your ass. I would never let them play with me like that if I was in the workforce. I would not. Oh, no. If I was not a self-employed entrepreneur, I wouldn't let these, man, no. And I know most brothers and sisters in here be like, all right, you ain't gonna got but a couple more times to come out your mouth wrong. If you come out at one time wrong. See, my point is this: there should be no amount of money that's worth your self-respect and integrity and dignity, okay? There should be no amount of money that's worth your self-respect and integrity. And see, to her employees that's working over there, we got to point this out. And I got to go here because I know this is not all of our continental African brothers and sisters. See, the thing with those of us over here who give critique about this cooning and this buffooning over here that are Foundational Black Americans, we call out our own coons, and we're going to call those of you who are in the tether class out that's doing it too. The bad problem that a lot of you in the tether class have, because we're going to make that distinction. We're not talking about all black immigrants, whether they're Caribbean, continental African, or whatever. The bad problem that they have, they're so desperate to escape their situations back home. And then when they finally get to places where there's consistent electricity, okay, they ain't got to worry about certain issues that they had. They get a chance to see what it feels like to have a little money in their pocket. That's cool. That's human. I understand that. But then you come across a white person that does one or two things for you. And then the next thing you know, you indebted to them for life. These people will slit your throat about this heifer. You understand me? See, this is not just something where she racist and we call her out. No, we got to really break this down and look at the minds of the people like this, because see, this is just one instance, and I'm glad that it happened the way it did so publicly and everybody's paying attention to it, because family, understand this. Pearl is just one. Pearl is just one. There's many Pearls, male and female, in the dominant society in the area of politics in either party, okay? And all those systems that we just went through, there's a Pearl in them. And there's Negroes that'll sit up here and make excuses for them. These people are so loyal to that oppressor class. You better understand, you can't trust a coon. See, for me, I'm not buddy-buddy with no damn coons. I'm not. We can have discussions. We can debate this, that, the third. But as far as calling them my good buddies and all that shit, oh, hell no. No. And see, the other problem with a lot of this black immigrant class, and some of our own too, because we're not going to let them off the hook at all. Oh, no. See, we're going to call it down the middle. The problem with black folks that become so enamored and indebted to white people is, one, they don't ever stop and say, okay, what white person that a black person puts on or he'll just stay forever indebted to them, to the point where it comes between choosing loyalty to their people or riding with black folks. The white person is going to choose their people 99% of the time. You may find a small percentage that might go against the grain, but they know what that means in their society. Now, when you look at our people, we've seen it over the weekend. See, this is why I was glad to sit here and wait and watch to just see how many of these Negroes would jump on the bandwagon and start putting the Sambo cape and tap shoes on for this heifer. When you look at the other way around, like I just said, you can't see no instances in Black America of them people siding with us against their own like that. And then, see, here's the other thing. Look at her face. Sadly, you got a class of black people that all it takes is for a white woman to sit here and smile and look innocent. See, let me tell you why I'll never trust these heifers. A lot of y'all ask me, well, GBS, man, you seem like you hate white people. No, I don't hate white people. I hate white supremacists. And the other part about it is, I know white supremacists are in the dominant society, okay? On top of that, I am not a man that is ignorant of my history as a foundational Black American. When I look at Pearl, let me tell you something. When she made that comment, we are the best Karens. You know who else was a Karen? Let's talk about some Karens before we get into this tonight. Carolyn Dunham Bryant, that evil demonic witch, that was a Karen that cost Emmett Till his life at 14 years old behind a lie. George Stinney Jr., the youngest person in America to be executed by electric chair. The little boy was 13 and a half years old, barely 14. They electrocuted this young man and killed him behind the same lie they killed Emmett Till behind. That was a Karen that got him killed. See, that's not a little cute term when I hear that. When they are espousing their anti-black racism, I don't look at it as a joke. See, a white woman can't smile in my face and disarm me, because what I just said to you, that is what I see when I'm looking at you. Now, I know what you're saying. White women, we aren't all like that. You might not be. But until I can confirm that you're not, that is my default position. And even then, if you prove that you're not, you still a part of the dominant society. I'm looking at common sense. See, family, let me make this clear. Don't you ever let anybody shame you into disarming your damn common sense. Animals in the wild know better than to do that, okay? Because of the history here and present day that still shows they operate the same way they did in the past, you would be a fool to disarm your common sense when you're around these people. Yeah, you might be cool, you might be all right, but until I can confirm that you are, I'm not gonna put nothing past you. And then, even when it comes to the ones that are cool, it's still a limit that so far you can go, if you're smart. Because at the end of the day, let's make this plain. Even for the ones that, oh, I don't do this, I don't do that. When it come down to it, if your people pull you to the side, say, look here, it's either that nigga or your people. Now, if you go with that nigga, you know what that means. That means we're going to make sure you can't get gainfully employed. We're going to threaten your life. Okay, we may even take your life. We're going to threaten your family. See, I know what that means. When you start hearing people talking about we got white allies, I'm like, whoa. No. White allies, let me tell you what the white allies are. Let's go ahead and break that down. I've said this many times. White allies are not right up under black people. You know why? Because of what I just said. They know there's consequences for being a nigger lover in America. I'm not going to miss no words here tonight. So what the white allies will do, they'll say, okay, I know the consequences, but I have good intentions. I want to help you black people. Best way for me to do that is in silence. I'm over here feeding you information. We don't need to be seen together. It's not about a photo op. People don't even need to know who I am as far as us dealing with one another. But as long as my information is good and my acts of good faith towards helping you try and get into business or whatever the case may be, that's your allyship right there. That's how you can tell one of them is serious. And the other way, hey, they say, okay, if I can't do nothing else, I'll financially support whatever you got going on. There's your allies. The motherfuckers that are fake, running around out here, marching around with you and all of that, they'll do all of that and then get in these courtrooms and turn right around and say, yeah, that nigga's guilty. Yeah, right down to whether it's George Floyd or Breonna Taylor, whoever you want to name, okay? So we're going to tell the truth about that. Here's the other thing. These people that are so easily enamored by a white person just being friendly towards them and smiling, oh, they were just joking. Don't take it so serious. The Ku Klux Klan started off as a joke. When you look at modern day white supremacist groups, family, those of us who are well studied on this, especially those of you that follow anybody in new black media, what do we always teach you? They always try to hide their most sinister thing behind jokes. And if you're stupid enough to sit there and accept that as a joke, your ass is the victim. You the next target, and you don't even know it yet. They like stupid folks, but see, I'm gonna tell you something. I already told you on the previous broadcast, I like stupid people too. I do. Yes, I do. Now, why do I like them? In case you missed me saying that, I'm gonna repeat it. I like the stupid people because, hey, when everything goes down, I know where not to be. You are cannon fodder. You have a purpose. You chose to be stupid. So therefore, hey, let's maximize your use here. Hey, that's what pawns on the chessboard are for. Move the stupid ones to the front of the damn line. That's exactly how we deal with that, okay? So keep in mind with this situation, that's their purpose. So I applaud all of you pearl coons with your cage wrapped tight around your neck to the point where you're strangling yourself for white mommy. I'm glad you're showing us who you are. I'm glad you're showing us who you are. You've done us a great service. So with that said, family, we're going to get into analyzing certain things here, and we're going to start off with Miss Ann's so-called apology. See, the reason I'm doing this broadcast here tonight, I want young black people to learn that one of the most dangerous things in America is a white person that grins in your face and then has a knife behind their back. Because, see, I'm going to drop something on you here tonight. Before this is over, y'all going to be like, damn, I didn't even see that coming. Salute to my good brother, Project Leroy, for the Cash App. Oh, yes, my brother. Oh, yes, there is a purge of Sambos coming tonight. Get your cooking oil and your gasoline. We're going to fry these motherfuckers up good. We're going to make some coon nuggets over here. Coon nuggets and some alabaster damn pancakes over. That's what we finna do. We finna serve a smorgasbord over here tonight. We're going to do this broadcast tonight in a way for the black people that have sense. You're going to learn from it, and you're going to go back. And I got to quote this because in order for us to get to this point, before we analyze this, our good brother Jason Black put it out there first because I had no idea about this. I knew who Pearl was, but I did not know about that particular interview because I wasn't subscribed to it, don't follow it like that, okay? I would get bits and pieces of her stuff here or there, but I never saw that. When you have the brothers like Jason Black, Tariq Nasheed, Professor Black Truth, Torian Rain, me, anybody that you want to call, we have to give credit to our grandmaster teachers that laid the groundwork for us to be able to recognize this and deal with it, okay? Okay, the Dr. Claude Andersons, the Dr. John Henry Clarks, Neely Fuller Jr., okay? Please go and get that elders work. That is life-saving because, see, most of the coons that had them capes on would have read his United Compensatory Counter-Racist Code concept. They would not be going along with this foolishness. But see, A lot of people want to look to the other way on racism and white supremacy because they just want to fit in. They want to feel accepted. Let me tell you something, family. I was taught this as a child. I don't give a damn about fitting in. I got to be myself. I'm not a follower. I am a leader, okay? And especially when it comes to just going along with something just to make somebody else feel comfortable, I could never be that black person in an organization, a room, or whatever the case may be, just to make white people feel comfortable. I got to pretend that what they're doing isn't anti-black racism, if that's what they're doing. No, you can't make no nigga jokes in front of me. I don't even give off the energy that would allow you to think that you can, okay? They don't try that with me down here, but see, I digress. We're going to get into her so-called apology doing. We're going to break this thing down from the A-row to the zero. Let's let it start here.
What up, guys? Welcome to the Just Pearly Things YouTube channel, and welcome to Morning Coffee Thoughts, where I give my thoughts over morning coffee. Today I have a chai tea. I quit coffee. You guys don't care about what I'm drinking. Okay.
Already? Because I told you we're going to surgically do this here tonight. Did you catch that, family? See, we're going to make it plain for the flunkies and the sambos over here. She come on here. This is supposed to be her apology video because I'm going to point out everything that a lot of people probably didn't mention about this. She comes up here. Hey, guys, here's my coffee. You know what, guys? You probably don't care about what I'm drinking. You know that. See, this woman is not stupid. That goofy, naive, ditzy, blonde routine she got. You don't think that these people have studied us in this country? We're talking about all white supremacists at this point, not just Pearl. You don't think these people study us and know that, hey, if you pretend to be ditzy and goofy, you come up here talking about something ain't got nothing to do with it. See, to a stupid black person, that disarms you. And see, and you know what? For the people that are going to disagree with what I'm saying, you wait till this broadcast is over tonight. I'm going to prove that this woman is nowhere near as stupid as she pretends to be. But I just wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. Let's let her get back to it.
Today, I'm going to be addressing the Nick Fuentes situation. Yeah, I know why you guys are here. Okay. So I want to first say I take full accountability for everything that happened. Everything that happens in life, as I say to the girls on my show, is my own fault. The fact that people are making these videos is my own fault. And the situation that I'm in is my own fault. Now, I'm going to give you guys an explanation and give you guys context for some of the conversations that were had. Just know it's not an excuse. It's my own fault. I take full accountability for everything that happened. Okay. So, but I'm going to answer questions that people have brought my way. So the first thing is, why did you have Nick on? So, the reasoning behind having Nick Fuentes on was because I heard that he was on the no.
Now, if you've been over here on my channel for any length of time when I analyze certain things in the media, whatever I always taught you all over here, and I'm not the only one to teach you this, but you know I stress this as an importance. When people are talking, look at them and pay close attention. When a person is telling the truth, they can look straight at you or straight at the camera and say what needs to be said. When a person is, particularly white women do this. I'm gonna spill all the beans over here tonight. Because see, this is life or death for my people, and I want to make sure young people understand this. I got this game as a young man in the South, and I'm going to share it with others tonight to make sure that this helps somebody that wants to learn. When these white women start looking all up in the air and looking to the side, that's a person that's full of shit. They're being deceptive. Their own men know that, okay? Their own men know that. See, let's talk about this, right? Because this is where I have to actually thank the white manosphere. Oh, yeah, I got to do that. What? The white man? Yeah, I got to thank them. I'm going to tell you why. From time to time, if you just listen to some of them, the Rollo Tomasis and all the rest of them, okay, anybody you want to name over there in that white manosphere space, listen to the complaints that they have about their women. See, I always try to teach you things from the standpoint of warfare over here because this is war. Make no mistake about it. This is warfare. The complaints that they talk about their women and how they lie and they're deceptive, they know what they're dealing with. So if I, as a black man, who am I to argue with the men in their society that's complaining about what their women do? You understand me? I just wanted to point that part out. Let's let her get back to it.
Fly list, and he lost his bank account. Now, from your point of view, you would think, why would you invite someone on that's on the no-fly list, right? That would be a bad, well, he's not anymore. That's how he flew, but he was. So I was more just curious why this man was banned and everything. Now, I've seen a lot of videos that say I play dumb or I'm playing dumb. And I'll tell you what I knew and what I didn't know. So I did know that he was a known racist. I did know he was a known sexist. I did know that basically every bad name in the book from the right and the left, everyone hated him. So the reason I had him on was because, guys, people say that stuff about me. They say I'm sexist. They say I'm a misogynist. And, you know, I really just like to give people the benefit of the doubt when I interview them. I don't go into interviews trying to interrogate someone. I just more try to listen and see where they're coming from. In hindsight, that wasn't smart. And in hindsight, I should have had someone, you know, maybe Sarah Garvey, maybe.
That Sarah Garvey she just mentioned, that's another Sambo too, okay? Oh yeah, he's from over there in the UK. If you don't know who that is, think back, because see, I keep up with everything in these spaces. Think back to when Brother Tariq Nasheed was trying to get the reparations rally going. That's that Sambo that was coming over there talking about, well, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. I'm going to say this one more time because we got to make sure we thread all needles here. Any of you that are not foundational Black American, you don't have a right to tell us how to conduct business because we are at home base. You are not. You are not from the UK, okay? He's Caribbean, if I'm not mistaken. If you had to bounce as a man, you know my stance on this. If you bounce as a man and don't go back home, shut the fuck up. You do not have the rank or authority to dictate anything to my people. You are a failure. Yes, I'm saying it like that. Again, let me make it clear. I'm not saying if you're an immigrant that has left a bad situation to go make it better. What I am saying is if you're going to nest under someone else's tree, knowing back home needs you as a man, your responsibility is a primary builder and you abandon that, you don't have the right to tell my people how to handle our business. We've been fighting this system of racism and white supremacy over here for over 400 years without backing off and running like you did. So we just got to clarify that. I just want to put that out there. But keep noticing how she's looking around, looking up, looking down. These are signs of deception and lying. And I'm going to tell you like my grandparents told me, if the little thin pale lips is moving, these motherfuckers are lying. Let's let her get back to it.
Be another content creator that could have pushed back more and really was more educated on the topics that he was talking about than I was, because I certainly was not an expert in any of the stuff that he was talking about. I did remove the interview. I, again, did not think through a lot of the repercussions of posting that, so I just removed it. If you do want to see the full interview, Obsidian did react to it. That's on his channel. The intention was not, I guess, to hide it. It was just, you know, this might not have been the best move. I'm just going to remove it now.
Oh, we got to deal with that. I know most of you probably saw that embarrassing display of coonery that Obsidian put on. That's, you know what? I'm going to say something, because you can be intelligent, but if you lack integrity, that's another matter altogether. You sit up here and you trotted this woman out on your platform and you made excuses for everything she did. See, that's dangerous, family. I've told you many times, I've covered that brother's content on my channel. It's one thing to agree about political views and other minor things, but when it comes to the anti-Black racism and white supremacy, I don't fuck around with that. As a man, you do not sit here and open the door to allow these people to disrespect us. Sitting, you should be ashamed of yourself for that, brother. You should. And see, let me go ahead and clear this up where Pearl is talking about she wasn't trying to hide it. Pearl, you might have gotten away with that if that was only on YouTube, okay? If you posted that to YouTube and you say, hey, this is kind of sensitive, I just removed it, didn't want no problems, you might could have got away with that. However, let me tell you where you fucked up at. Because see, those of us that are content creators, we know about these different platforms. Family, all of you over here know that I have a Rumble channel. And I'm gonna be putting a lot of content on that very soon. Trust me. Oh, we gonna get that Patreon cooking too, because I got some stuff that I knew I ain't gonna be able to put on YouTube. Oh yeah, the stuff that we got coming up is YouTube safe. But very soon, when I get that content crunk up on that Rumble, you're gonna see exactly the kind of stuff that I really want to talk about over here. The problem where she fucked up at with her lie is on Rumble, unless you are threatening harm to somebody or you just posting outright murder or something, Rumble doesn't censor you like YouTube, Pearl. If you wasn't trying to hide it, Rumble don't make you take stuff like that down. That's one thing I will respect about that platform. It's a free fall. They let the white supremacists do what they do. And if you about black empowerment, you can do what you do. And here's the kicker. They don't shadow ban you over there either. I got to tell the truth about that. Oh yeah, I got to tell the truth. You can pretty much let it all hang out over there with exception to what I just stated. So Pearl, if you wasn't trying to hide it, let me tell you how else I know you full of shit about that. See, you can't fool me. This little Midwestern alabaster Gila monster face helper right here, you can't fool a black man from the South that's on code like me. If you wasn't trying to hide then why you don't went into radio silence mode? See, I'll tell you why. She has a whole team of people over there and they're in damage control mode. She full of shit. If you didn't do nothing wrong, you would stand on it. You'd be like, well, it's still over there on Rumble for everybody to see it. So no, I'm not buying it. But I want y'all to finish hearing the rest of these lies that's about to come out these thin pale lips. Let's let it continue.
So again, racism has no place in society, and I do take accountability for bringing him on. Hindsight's always 2020. I wrote down some of the complaints that people had. So if I look this way, it's just because I made bullet points of everyone's concerns and I'm just addressing them. Okay. My Africans, that part. So in the heat of the conversation, I made some remarks to my producer, Blessing. Now, Blessing is a godsend. Okay, Blessing has made the production quality literally phenomenal. He's so talented. And during this conversation, we were talking about immigration. And I said, I'm trying to get my Africans to America. Now, I watched it back, guys. It was so cringy. Oh my gosh, it was so embarrassing. I meant my African employees. I just said Africans. The reason is because, like, why wouldn't you just say my employees or whatever to America? The African passport system is just more difficult than the UK one. I didn't know, like, Blessing had to go to the embassy or something to apply to go to America with me next month. We're going to go do some work there.
See all this damn, Becky explaining she doing right here? Let me go ahead and chop through this bullshit right now. First, let's go ahead and address this, might get my Africans in America. And she called the particular guy she was talking about, the African brother Blessing. Blessing, I'm going to say this straight to you and all of the continental Africans and Caribbean people. And I'm not going to mince any words. Brother, when it comes to you as a man sacrificing your integrity for somebody to disrespect you like that, you remove yourself from the title of manhood, especially as a black man. My African, see, this bitch got comfortable on her platform and she let it ride because look, Blessing and all of the tether classes, I want you to pay attention to this. She didn't make a mistake. That bitch said what she meant. And I'm going to tell you how I know that. Understand this. See, we got these lessons early in the South and when we were young. This is how I know she meant what she said. When they're around each other in groups and they're comfortable, they let it ride. It's just like a drunk person, okay? Yeah, that's right. Y'all know that. Y'all know that saying, man. Yeah, a drunk person speaks a sober mind. When they're around each other, oh boy, they let it all come on out. And see, we're going to prove a lot of what I'm saying here later on tonight. Oh, yes, we are. Because in case you think I'm just talking, I'm going to back it all up with facts. Some of this stuff y'all might not have seen, but some of it y'all have seen, okay? She's sitting up here making all these excuses and going all around the world. Why aren't you sticking to the particular issue of you saying my Africans as if you own them? Because whether y'all know it or not, those of you who are her employees, that's what this bitch is telling you. I've paid you more money than you ever made. I own you now. And see, this is what's different about foundational black Americans on average and people from other regions in the global black diaspora. I know it doesn't apply to all of you, so I'm not speaking in absolutes. But this is something, if I pissed you off with what I'm saying, you need to do some soul searching and look at your people and see if what I said applies to you. When a white person does something for you, you feel indebted to let them disrespect you and just go along with everything, and then you ignore their racism and white supremacy just because they did something for you. News flash, especially to the men, you cannot lead your people if you do that. You can't. That's not leadership. That's weak. Why do you think these bastards over there from China, Russia, Italy, America, the UK, they come over to your homelands and they disrespect your people like that? Look what they did to your people in China. Where the virus originated, they blamed it on you as if you was the cause of it. Look what they did to your people in Ukraine, kicking you out and mistreating you when all you were trying to do is get an education. Look how they treat you around the world. And then this is the damning thing, and I'm saying this directly to continental African and Caribbean men. When they come over to your nations, you welcome them with open arms. You're very hospitable. I've seen it with my own eyes. But when you go to their countries, they don't do none of that for you. They can't wait to get you the hell up out there. Look at how they're disrespecting the black Windrush generation, the descendants of it, over there in the UK. They're trying to deport them right now. They have deported some of these people. People that were born over there in the UK, never been to Jamaica, okay? Deporting them back to places they've never been. That's what I want to put on your mind. Don't be pissed off at me. Look at your own people and see if that's a problem that you have, and you better straighten that shit out. Because see, over here in America now, we're not playing that game no more. You either over here or you over there. That's the way we doing it. And if you're going to be over here up under us, you're going to fall in line or get the fuck over there on the other side. That's just that simple. I'll just let it continue.
And yeah, and so I've just found that the immigration process is a bit more difficult. So that's why I referred to them, because my African employees, I needed more help with. And, you know, I was saying in the interview that I wanted more open border policies because I wanted them to come. Again, you know, I really respect the African culture. I had no ill will or malice towards any of that. But it sounded absolutely awful. It was so cringy watching back. You know, so it was stupid. It was stupid. Okay. Now let's talk about My Africans was the other one. And then, the joke about Blessing being late. So one thing that they cut out from that clip was that Nick Fuentes did say after, I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm just kidding. Okay. Now, even so, it was still in poor taste. And what I didn't think about at the time was,
notice how this woman isn't condemning things. When she addressed the My Africans comment, she didn't say, hey, I didn't mean that as if I owned African people. Notice how she just keeps glossing over what the real issue is. And then, that was in poor taste. No, bitch, it was an anti-black racist comment. You coons that sit here and let these people play these little games and being deliberately obtuse and all this cognitive dissonance that you display, going around everything except for the main issue. Let me ask you one question, family. I want everybody gathered in this chat room to bear me witness on this and tell me if I'm telling a lie. When in America do white people that have a grievance against black people, when do they go all around the outside and the edges and pretend like they don't see what the issue is? When do they do that with us? Or is the truth more like anytime they have even an accusation against us, they come straight up the middle? Yes, nigga, you did it. You think I'm lying? Right now in real time. That's what Jonathan Majors is going through. No facts have come out yet. We haven't seen no footage about nothing that's going on. But yet, he's black and he was with a white woman, so you guilty before we even know anything. Now, somebody tell me if I'm lying. You coons gonna get a wake-up call over here. Like I said, if you subscribe to my channel, this is the night for you to get the hell on, because I'm gonna make it plain.
Sorry, for those that didn't see it, basically Nick Fuentes was talking about he's always late. And I said, you were on time today. Blessing was the one that's late. And it's sort of an inside joke here at Just Pearly Things. Like, Blessing is he's phenomenal, but he's a late guy. And every time he comes in, he says African time. Now, Pearl me. So when I was referring to him during this joke, I was like, African. Now, I was saying African time, referring to what he says when he comes in. Now, what I realized is this was especially disrespectful because we did have someone that's a known white supremacist race, like making that joke in front of him, with him, is just in poor taste.
Notice how she keeps saying that like it's no big deal. See, you sound bold to sit up here and think that this heifer is non-threatening. Again, I already told you, it'll never be me because I know history and present day, okay, how they conduct themselves. But let's deal with something. Blessing and anybody else. Let me tell you another difference between foundational Black Americans and our other brothers and sisters in the global Black diaspora. And I'm not going to say all because I know some of them have sense enough not to do this. There are certain things that we discuss amongst each other as Black people that we don't say around them people. See, you teach people how to treat you. And if you come in there, African time, that ain't no shit you supposed to be saying around no white people. Because see, when you do that, you make them comfortable with disrespecting you. They already have a low opinion of you. See, I'm going to tell you something else too. And this is the problem that a lot of these conservatives have. They don't understand that most of these damn white people, that especially on the conservative right, and we got the liberal ones too, but we talking about Pearl because she's a conservative. Don't let this fool you. We're going to prove it here later on too. What they don't understand is they already have a low opinion of you. You always talking about what Black Americans saying about you. The people that tell the worst jokes about you are not Black Americans. It's these white folks, particularly the conservative ones. You think I'm lying? Go pull up that audio tape of President Ronald Reagan talking to Nixon about Africans. You listen to that and tell me if that's not how most of them think. See, let me explain something to you. You have a sitting president of the United States like Ronald Reagan talking about African people the way he was in that audio, for those of you that heard it. You don't think that he got that from the greater majority of his people? They don't just do shit as one-off. This is trained in them from the time they're young on up. Neely Fuller Jr. has taught us if they don't know the codes and the rules of white supremacy by 15, they get punished for it. They're all on code. They see you as beneath them. This is why this bitch was able to make a statement, my Africans. But see, if you don't have sense and you operate by that foolish notion, we all one race, the human race. Okay, if that's true, because let's deal with that. If you thought that was true, if they thought that was true, the dominant society, why would they have colonized you for years and centuries on end there? Why are they treating Black people the way they treat them? Like I showed you in my previous broadcast. If we was all one human race, they wouldn't have did that to those Nigerian and other African students in Ukraine. They wouldn't mistreat your people in the UK. They wouldn't be coming over there practicing diplomacy with you and swindling you and doing things that they're doing over there, stealing your resources. Okay? If we was all one human race, the people that say they believe that, they would conduct themselves as, hey, man, don't do that. That's just another human just like me. But that's not the way it works. When we tell your hard-headed asses racism and white supremacy is global, we mean it. But see, we don't know nothing, though. Let's get back to it.
And I did apologize to him for it. I really had no malice or ill will. But, stupid. It was just stupid, okay? The next thing is I've gotten a lot of criticism for using the Black culture and then I'm going right and leaving it, like that sort of thing. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but that seems to be a big point of contention. My intention was never to be, quote unquote leader in the Black manosphere or the manosphere in general. I really have always just looked at the men as the leader. I mean, they're the thought leaders. Let's just be honest. And me, I try to support them in any way I can. I bring them on my show, but saying I'm a leader in the space, I feel like women follow, men lead. So I really think, that's just my opinion. Now, the other thing was the demographic of the women on my show. Guys, I haven't done recruiting in months. So when I started, I never expected it to blow up this fast. I never in my life thought I'd have 1 million subscribers in a year. I wrote my goals for the year before and it was 100,000. I thought I'd maybe get 100K by the end of the year. Okay, that's what I thought. Now, everything blew up so fast and I haven't done recruiting since maybe July. The only time I have is maybe to help out if we're low on a show. So Or if there's a really big panel like the Andrew Tate panel, I handpicked everyone that was on that. But in general, guys, I really don't recruit. I think one reason that there have been so many Black people on the show is because the recruiter that I picked was Nigerian. And he just had the type of job that he could recruit while he went on the job. And he knew a lot of people.
Let me pause it right here because see, I'm finna point something out that a lot of people might not have mentioned yet because we're going to surgically break this down. Notice how she just threw the Nigerian blessing under the bus. See, we understand what they do over here. Family, let me go ahead and tell you something before we really make this plain for our tether class over here. When white people go and put you in a position, notice how they get all over here. Let's deal with us for a minute. The first Black this, the first Black that. You know, I've said it many times on this channel. If they come trying to make you the first Black something without any type of pushback, you better pump your brakes and say, wait a minute. This some shit they've been fighting us for years to let any Black person get in. Now, all of a sudden, they're going to let a nigga in here? Why are they doing that? They're setting your ass up. See, when it's something a white person isn't willing to compete with you for, it has no value. Or it's something that's gone so far wrong, and we're speaking particularly here in politics, they say, hey, you know what? None of us don't want to touch this mess. Put a nigga over there and we can blame it all on them. Now, let's equate this to Pearl, because I'm going to thread this needle for you. Notice how she gets her flunkies, and blessing, whether you know it or not, you are a flunky. She threw your ass under the bus and say, well, the reason why this many Black people on there, my recruiter is Nigerian. It's him. It's not me. See, he does the recruiting. When your foundational Black American brothers and sisters try to game you up on how these devils think, you better listen to us. We know what the fuck we're talking about. But hey, you know what? They say we don't. Let's let it continue.
People, he was already in the podcast space, so he's just a good recruiter. So it makes sense that he knows more Nigerian women. Yeah, okay. But again, yeah. The next part. Now, this was the part that was probably the dumbest part of the whole interview. This was the stupidest, the dumbest. Oh, this was stupid. So I said that slavery was embellished in the interview. Now, that not only is that comment insensitive, it's not accurate. There were things in slavery that were worse than what was shown on TV. What I was referring to, I don't even want to tell you guys what I was trying to say because it wasn't what came out and it doesn't even matter. Again,
no, bitch, you said what you meant. And to you, it doesn't matter. But to those of us who are Black that respect ourselves, it does matter. It does matter. I've told you where we're moving into the direction now over here with those of us that have sense. Just like you can't say nothing about them Jews, we're going to have a way you're not going to disrespect our people like that either. That should be the goal, family. I want y'all to listen to this bullshit excuse you finna give, though.
If you watch the full thing, I was more referring to the system of using atrocities to control people. That's what I was trying to say. But to say that it wasn't, that it was embellished is, oh gosh, so stupid.
Did you hear that bullshit? See, she called herself trying to say, well, I was talking about organizations that use that to control people. No, you wouldn't. You was basically saying that Black people that talk about what our ancestors have been through, especially for being compensated for it with this reparation talk we got going on. See, we're going to thread this needle. We're trying to get these reparations, and we're going to get them. We made more progress than ever, and we are going to get those reparations. Oh, trust me. Yes, we are. They're going to have to pay them because we're not backing down on that. This reparations conversation has stirred up a lot of things, and it's letting a lot of people know how they really feel about us. This is a good thing. For those of us who have sense, we are not afraid of these bastards, because what's being afraid going to do? They're coming out the woodwork, and you got somebody, man, you going to make the white people mad. Good, I want to make them mad. Hell, they've been mad already. What more can you do? Bring it on, motherfucker. But see, this bullshit that she talking about, organizations trying to create. No, you said what you meant, Pearl, was Black people try to use that to guilt you or control you by that. No, bitch, we're just telling the truth. the history that your people are trying to take out of these schools that really happened? See, let me tell you something, man. While we're talking about that, because I want y'all to understand how all of this ties together. The reason why they're trying so hard to take their history out, which they call CRT out the schools and everything, they didn't think that we would ever get to this level of consciousness as black people here in America. Now, is it the majority of us? No, but it's enough of us to make something shake. Shout out to our brothers over there and sisters over there in California. Y'all keep shaking the damn table over there till you get it right with them reparations. We behind you 100%. Okay? See, that when we were asleep and the only thing black people was concerned about was entertainment, okay, and hooking up with each other and having sex and rapping and playing sports. Oh, hell, leave that shit in there. Them niggas ain't paying no attention. But now, and I know that our ancestors are proud of us, our grandmaster teachers, now that their work has begun to be taken seriously by those of us that are on code, now they're nervous because they're like, wait a minute, these niggas are unplugged from the bullshit. They're focused on what matters now. Yeah, that's where it's at. So like, hey, pull this shit out of here. Don't, You can't have this truth sitting right here in plain sight. Oh, no, because see, I got to go here. Remember what was one of the most ugly and sadly is one of the most true things that they've said about our people. You want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. Now that people are paying attention, they can't rely on that no more. Hey, let's take these books up out of here. We got to rewrite this whole thing. That's what they're trying to do. So if you're a black parent, you better take it extremely serious. It is incumbent upon you to teach your children the truth. And I'll shout out to our brother Tariq Nasheed. If you have not seen the film American Maroon, you need to go and get that and watch it with your family. That one is very family friendly. Make sure that your children understand who we are as a people and what our real history is. Let's let this lion heifer get back to it, though.
So stupid, insensitive. And nor am I, sure, I've read a couple books, but I'm not informed or qualified enough to really have that conversation. So not bringing someone else onto the show, again, stupid. Now, the next thing is that my friend Gabby came on the show with him, and she's dating someone that is black. And he would say openly racist comments to her. Now, I should have pushed back on that. Like, I've been in interracial relationships. So for me to not push back on that, especially with all of the people that have been on my show, was stupid. It was
Nope. I ain't gonna let her get away with that. See, this is the part where I'm finna break their hearts now. Oh, yeah, I got to do it, family. Because, see, I'm a person that I take my platform very seriously, and I make sure that when I put something on like this, I make sure I teach it the right way. You tethers, men and women that it applies to, because, see, as foundational Black Americans, we know this. Listen to what she just said.
Well, Nick was insulting, one of the guests on my show, and he's in an interracial relationship, and
I've been in interracial relationships. We've been trying to tell y'all this all this time. Neely Fuller Jr. has made it plain. The only people that get confused when you get out of bed with them white folks, whether you're a man or a woman, is us, the black people. They're not confused. The reason why she didn't check him, listen to what I'm saying. The reason why she did not check him is because, hey, this is normal to her. You're just my little toy that I roll around with and have fun with. You don't have any dignity. Nowhere near my equal as a human being. So, of course, she didn't feel offended by that. See, a white person that really was true of heart and true of character would have said, hey, man, whoa, don't do that. Yo, I date Nigerian guys or whatever, man. Don't do that, man. That's disrespectful. Fact of business, get off my show. You see what I'm saying? She was like, or she would have said, hey, don't make another comment like that in the studio. That's not funny. We're not going to go there. You're not going to disrespect no black people over here. See, she didn't talk like that. Even right now, notice the thing that she keeps doing. Instead of calling it anti-black racism or white supremacy, it's stupid. Oh, it's stupid. Family, I'm going to tell you, just like my parents and grandparents taught me as a child, you don't sit here and call racism and white supremacy other terms. You call a spade a spade. That shit is dangerous. It's just stupid. They're just ignorant. No, you the fool. You call this shit what it is. See, that's how you go about confusing yourself. And then you sit here where you're in situations where all these motherfuckers mean to do you some harm, but because your whole life you've been in a state of cognitive dissonance, you ignore that your life is in danger. This is why we don't play with that. It's not just a matter of semantics, okay? Let's let her get back to it.
Stupid. I just, I was kind of like a deer in the headlights. I didn't know what to say. I was like, oh gosh. And the video we were watching wasn't even supposed to be about that. So I really don't have an excuse. It was just stupid. And again, I take full accountability for this stuff. And, if I had to do it over again, I would do it differently, but I can only move forward. So, sorry, I want to make sure that I addressed everything. I think I did. Okay. Because I talked about recruiting. Okay. So, moving forward, I really would be open to having a discussion with someone that can bring more awareness and education to the situation. So I'm open to you guys' suggestions in the comments. I also invite anybody that's made a video about me or has comments to address with me to go on Obsidian's stream tonight. It's 8 p.m. GMT. Blessing will also be there. And
nah, Pearl, bullshit. Because see, I observed that stream when Obsidian was doing that, and that was just disgusting, man. That made no sense. There was a brother on the stream. I forget what his name was. It's up. Y'all can go and look at it. So you can make sure that I'm not making things up, because I don't do that. There was a brother over there was trying to challenge her, and he told her, he said, listen, you said you would be open to somebody that could educate you on these things if it came to that, and now you're reneging on it. See, Pearl, you're not going to go nowhere where there's not a flunky that's going to sit up here and play driving Miss Ann for you. Nah, you ain't going to go nowhere, because see, I guarantee you who I tell you won't have a conversation with. I guarantee you won't have a conversation with Dr. Randy Short. You won't have a conversation with Dr. Clyde Winters. You damn sure won't have no conversation with Neely Fuller Jr. You won't have no discussion with Dr. Claude Anderson. You won't have a conversation with Shahrazad Ali. Okay? You won't have a conversation with Queen Afua. Oh, yeah, I got some names for you talking about you not educate you. Oh, I got some people that can educate you. And look, they don't have to, I'm the mean one. They ain't going to call you out your name. They will educate your ass roundly and soundly and expose you for further the white supremacist that you are. You ain't having no conversation with nobody that can educate you on nothing. That's not what a coward does. See, let me tell you why I really don't. And this the part where, you know what? I'm going to frame this a certain way, because I almost said something. I'm going to say it this way. The reason that I think so lowly of their women, they're the epitome of deception. All women lie, yes, but these are some of the most egregious, soulless, despicable, rotten creatures on the damn planet. They will look you straight in your face and lie to you. Think about it. If you doubt, he shouldn't have said it like that. Nah, fuck all that. We're going to tell it like it is tonight. You go back and look at pictures of our ancestors that were there hanging. They would gather in public squares, having their kids up there with that. When you think about the life bearers of your society, our women are supposed to instill dignity, morals, and values into children. What type of demonic bitch would you have to be to bring a child to watch somebody lynch another human being? That's where I hold them accountable for that. Think back to old Adolf with the mustache, the one that perpetrated the Holocaust. Who was he married to? That bitch Ava Braun. They will sit up there and turn a blind eye to all types of genocide, even order genocide against people. And you want me to have some type of sympathy for this? See, I know the devil when I see it. I'm not a fool. I don't give a damn about your blonde hair and your blue eyes. I'm looking at your history and present day mindset. And again, if y'all are, man, you shouldn't have said that. Oh, okay. You probably feel that way now. You stick around to the end of this broadcast. I'm going to show you why I said what I said.
And yeah, because I don't want to run from this stuff. Again, a lot of this stuff was not well thought out. A lot of this stuff I could have done better, and I do take full accountability for that. So, go on the stream if you got something to say. I also would like to say I really don't have beef with anyone in the space that made videos about me. I understand where they were coming from. I understand where I went wrong. And I really think they had a lot of valid criticisms about me. So let me know what you guys think. I really did my best to address all of the comments in a concise way. I'm not trying to play the victim. Everything in this that has happened is my fault. And I'm just, my fault. And I will do better in the future. So let me know.
Oh, see, this makes me sick, but I have to take the time to do this the right way because I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. Those of you that are gathered over here in this audience here tonight, watching this presentation on this broadcast here, I take it extremely serious when I point certain things out to you, and I have to make sure my people are aware of things that are right in front of our faces, because due to the conditioning that we've been in this country, a lot of things are right in front of us and we ignore it. Let's break it down. Did she or did she not just say, I'm not trying to play victim here? See, I want you to understand how devious this damn demon is. She just said, I'm not trying to play victim, and then she proceeded to play victim right in front of our faces. Do you see how these creatures, these demonic helpers like this bitch, have no type of integrity? And look, this is the thing about them. This is why they lie so easily. There's a point where you get to lying. It's one thing if you know you lying. Okay. It's one thing if you know it. When you lie so much that you think you're telling the truth, you become a pathological liar. That's what we're looking at right here on this damn screen. I'm not trying to play victim. And then she proceeds to start playing the victim. I didn't know. I didn't this. No. You're trying to play on people's sympathy. That's what you're doing here. See, a lot of black people, that'll go right over their heads. They wouldn't even catch that because they're so enamored and looking at a white person. And I got to go here with it. This is the sad part about some of our people, even some of our people that know better. Due to the way things are in this country, we're accustomed to looking at them as authority figures, and everything that they say is white or it's right. Okay? This is why you can have black people telling our people something and then they'll ignore it. But as soon as somebody like her says it, oh, it's the gospel truth. So you have to make sure that in addition to knowing your history and seeing how it correlates to present day, that you make sure you cultivate having the right thought process in your mind, that when these people are talking, just because they say something doesn't mean it's the truth. A lot of us have been trained that when they speak, believe it. If it's white, it's right. She did it right in front of our faces. But hey, you know what? Let's let it continue.
In the comments, what you guys think. Like the video on your way out, I guess, or don't. You know, you can oh shoot, they don't have a dislike button anymore. But anyways, thank you for watching, guys.
Look at that little act she keeps putting on. Like it or don't. Oh, they don't know how to just pretending like she's stupid. Now, I want you to remember what we just reviewed at the beginning of this, because when we get later on down the line of this, you're going to see like, oh shit, she's nowhere near as stupid as she pretending. I'm going to blow that shit out the water tonight.
I'll see you on Obsidian's channel tonight.
And before we get into this, I got to give a big shout out to my brother, Philip Scott. I know some of you may not always agree with this brother, but see, never mind this. Because see, we're going to teach you how to do something else over here tonight. It's okay to not agree with everything somebody says. You're not supposed to agree with nothing everybody says, me or anybody, okay? But what I will tell you this, with a situation like this damn Pearly thing situation, know when to put all the minor things to the side and get on code. Salute to you, brother Philip Scott, because see, this is the right attitude to have right here.
All right. We on live on this. I had to jump on here live because I'm back. I'm back. Let everybody know I am back. I had my time in South Africa. I'm trying to let some of y'all come in here real quick. I spent about 10 days. I guess y'all catch this on the replay or so. I did about 10 days in South Africa. I was out there filming, relaxing, getting away from all this crap. But now I'm back. I'm back to ready to put my foot up some proverbial butts, literally. But I had to jump on this real quick before I even got in my studio and start doing formal things. Why are y'all surprised about Miss Ann, a.k.a. Pearl? Why are y'all surprised? Now, I don't get into a lot of this conversation on this particular channel. You know, if you go to my news channel, I have a totally different conversation over there. But see, now Miss Ann, she showed herself like I knew she would. At the end of the day, I knew she would. But my issue is not really her. My issue is a few people, actually. You black men. You sorry, good for nothing black men. And I'm telling you, sorry and good for nothing black man. You are so bad off that you will sit up here and follow a girl. And I'm going to say a girl at that. What, 25, 26? She's a girl. You find a little girl who haven't struggled in her life for nothing, come from money, admitted she had a full scholarship for volleyball, from the Midwest. No, good and well, if that girl was black, you wouldn't even listen to her not 2 seconds. That girl is the most basic of the basic. She sat here and admitted what she was on. First, what she did is she paid, she admitted, $1,000 to Kevin Samuels for 1 hour of his time to pick his brain. Then she went to lead attorney, Mio tutorials, mentor, everybody trying to get consultations from him so she can colonize, because that's what they do. And pick their brains, because see, originally what she tried to do is go into the white manosphere. And the white manosphere say, man, if you don't get your behind out of here, we didn't create this manosphere for you. You the reason why we got this manosphere over here. But no. Let some old silly black men, and the bad part about some of you black men is that you're older. You should be much wiser than that at this stage of the game. How many times people like her have came in on your job and got you fired? How many people that came in, how many people like her is giving you hell right now in a lot of things on career or whatever else case may be? How many times? See, I'm not really on her, I'm on y'all. Because a lot of problems in our community, whatever the case may be, a lot of it is us.
And I got to pause it right there because I agree with everything the brother Field is saying here so far. Because, see, let's be clear on something, family. First and foremost, he is absolutely right. And I'm going to go here with it because I told you I'm not going to mince no words. You had a bunch of these Sam Bozos running around here talking about high value man this, high value man that. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again here tonight. I don't give a damn how high value you are as far as monetary gain, connections, or anything. If your ass is a coon, you are worthless to our people. I'm going to say it again. I don't care how much money, status, education, connections, fame, or whatever you have. You can call yourself high value all you want, but you are worthless to black society. My integrity means more to me than a damn dollar. My integrity means damn sure more to me than what these damn people in the dominant society think. I don't give two shits what they think about me. They have no moral high ground to stand on. So that's where I stand on that. The other point that Brother Phil made, that is true. Originally, her intent was to hop over into the white manosphere and try to do what some of the sisters like, and I'm gonna name names because, look, let me tell you something. Whether you agree or disagree with all their content, I'm gonna start supporting and saluting the sisters that are trying to really speak up for black men. Number one, you can verify this. I know this sister been doing it for a long time. The sister Kendra D, okay? She's been, the Crimson Cure is her name on YouTube. She been doing this way before any of them started doing it. I believe that sister believes wholeheartedly in what she's saying. Whether you agree with everything she's saying or not, she been doing it. She got on Pearl's ass too. The sister Danica Marie, Six the Goddess, okay? I'm gonna call the sisters out that I know were calling this motherfucker out way before a lot of people were doing it, right? So what Pearl did there, Miss Ann, she looked over there and said, let me go over here and try this in the white manosphere. But see, the difference is, one thing I will give them guys over there in the white manosphere, they on code. They're like, nope, get your ass out from over here. This is for white men. We trying to keep this thing over here with white men like they do with everything in America. Because see, notice, they don't really share power with their women like that. And see, when it comes to their influence on their people over there in that white manosphere space, they're not trying to dilute it by having no woman sitting up there parroting what they're saying just for monetary gain. See, they have some conviction about that. I will give them credit on that. So, like Phil said, what Pearl did, she said, you know what? Okay. You're not going to let me in over here? And see, I want you to pay attention to this because I'm going to make this stick. This is going to make sense for you. What do little rebellious white girls do when they don't get their way with their family? Oh, you ain't going to give me what I want? Okay, Dad. I know you're an anti-black racist, so I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to embarrass the family name and I'm going to piss you off. Let me go hop on the first soul pole that I can find. See, this was Pearl's version of saying, oh, okay, you ain't going to let me in? I'll go over to these gullible niggers because I know with this blonde hair and blue eyes, they going to already welcome me in. So she sat back and watched. And I got to condemn them for what it is because I've said it before. Are all the brothers over there in the manosphere on the Sambo shit? No, they're not. But the majority are. Yes, the majority of them are coons. She sat back and peeped game. I'm going to say it like it is. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, but Kevin was a coon. Yes, he was. You don't quote Thomas Sowell and Rudyard Kipling if your ass is not a coon. He did not discuss race and politics on his channel, but I can prove that he discussed things on other people's channel where you be like, wait a minute, man, this is some Sambo shit. No disrespect to him in death. I am just telling the truth that can be verified. She came to Kevin, looked at who Kevin was clicked up with, and said, you know what, shit, these coons will let me in over here. And I can stick it to these white men that won't let me in. Oh, yeah, that's exactly how they think. You think I'm lying? You better look at how these white women operate in America. Why you think you always see these heifers running around trying to march with black people? You better stop and think about what I'm telling you. So when she peeped game on that, notice this. I'm going to show you something else about why she's not as stupid as she claims to be. Look who she went to in particular. She went to them. You didn't see her reaching out to nobody in new black media spaces because she know who these people are. Oh, you better believe she knows who we are now. Oh, yes. We are on your little pale ass and we are not going to let up. I don't care what hiatus you take, Pearly. I don't care what damage control you doing. Oh, no, you out there. You going to stay out there. You wanted to be famous? Congratulations. Now you're famous. Just not like you wanted. Why she didn't go to other black platforms? I'm going to show you something else, right? Watch this. If she really wanted to talk to black people about certain things, why she didn't reach out to Danica Marie? Why she didn't reach out to Six the Goddess? Why she didn't reach out to the Crimson Cure? I guarantee you she hadn't. I can't confirm that, but I guarantee you she didn't go to them sisters. No, you went where these buck dancing Sambos was because you knew they were going to let you in there. Oh, yeah, that's why she did it. Bill is right. And see, the reason why we got to make this distinction and separation from the coon class of black men versus those of us black men who are on code, it is a serious responsibility as the protector and warrior class of black men that we close the damn gates. We stand out front. What we let in damage the entire community if we don't hold the line. That's not the women's job. They're supposed to support us. If we say, hey, look, this outside these gates, don't let these motherfuckers in here. They're supposed to back our play on that. But they're not going to do it if we just open it wide up because they're like, well, hell, you let them in? We got to just call it what it is for the coon class. So this is where the men are going to take that Sambo male class to task. You fucked up on our watch and we going to deal with you like we supposed to in-house. That's my stance on it. Let's let Brother Phil continue.
It's us. Yes, I talk about demonic women and all of that stuff, and that's great. But I will get in at you brothers. And I'm disappointed in a lot of you brothers that still defending that chick. She had a whole white supremacist. Nick Fuentes is a white supremacist. This chick sit up here and said slavery wasn't that bad. Listen, I don't care what you like about her. I take the position of the Jewish community. What I mean by that? In the Jewish community, they cool with you until you say something about the Holocaust they don't like. Or you say something they don't like at all. They don't care what kind of money they got with you. They don't care about if they liked you or not. The moment you cross the Jewish community, you're done. Let's go back to Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon said something the Jewish community didn't like. They didn't care about wilding out, all that money he making for wilding out. They say, no, Nick, you're done. Nick had to go on an apology tour. But a lot of you black men, you looking for a hero. Now, this is my issue, and I said this before. You have black women that's actually speaking up for you. That's what I don't understand. I'm going to mention 4 women that I'll say that I see speak up for brothers relentlessly. Y'all always complaining about Cynthia G and all these other ones. But why aren't you uplifting Chantel Simone? Why are you uplifting her, give her a million subscribers? Why aren't you going over there to the Crimson Cure, giving her a million subscribers, giving her super chats? Number 3, why aren't you supporting Danica Marie? She's talking about brothers all the time, defending the brothers. Shay Sharday, another one, defending the brothers relentlessly. And Shay Sharday, Danica Marie are married women. You talk about women need to be married and single women and all that. Those women are married. Crimson Cure, her husband passed away, so she's a widow. The only person not married out the bunch, I think, is Chantel Simone. I don't know her full situation. I just know she's not married. But those women go in the paint for brothers. And you brothers rather go over there with some bottom of the barrel Midwest Miss Ann, go support her behind fully. Y'all gonna sit up there. Listen, this girl is so bad. She let that colonizer out of her with that interview. She said, my Africans. Yo, Africans? What is that about?
Now, I got to deal with something that Brother Phil just stated here because he ain't speak nothing but the truth. But see, I know why they didn't support them sisters and why they won't. It goes back to what I just stated earlier. The greater majority of that black manosphere space is nothing but a bunch of buck dancing Sambos and coons. And I'm not just talking about the content creators. I'm talking about all of them that gravitate to that because, see, let's go ahead and deal with something up front, right? If you familiar with my content, you know I don't pander to no damn body. I call the shit down the middle. If it's a problem with the men, I'm going to say it's a problem with black men. If it's a problem with black women, I'm going to say it's a problem with black women. You don't like it? It's a little button called unsubscribe. You know what to do. Okay? So now, the reason why they won't support them sisters that he just named, because they do that. I'm familiar with all their content. Okay? Reason why they won't support them, they hate the demographic of black women that they be talking about so much that they're willing to use a white woman to come in between family business. I don't give a damn what issues I have with sisters. I will never. You will not see it on this platform, any other, or any platform that I go on, online or offline. I will never sit up with white people and chastise my people because they don't come sit up with us and chastise their people. That's my permanent stance. There's no amount of money you could pay me to do it. I ain't no issue. I'm going to have inside house with my sisters or brothers that's going to make me do that. No, I will not do it. My father didn't raise me that way. The reason why they won't go support them sisters? Because they want to use her. See, get at the black women for us. You gutless, spineless maggots, you. Do you know how bad that make us look as black men when you do that shit? That's disgusting. You show me the equivalent of white men sitting up there with you talking about their women. You go try that with Rollo Tomasi. Go ahead. Don't believe me. Put it to the test. Go over there with Rollo Tomasi, okay? And just try to find any of their shows over there. What's the other guy? Because I don't really be watching them like that. I just know a few of the most popular names. What's that other guy? The guy that had the 21 convention. Okay, Anthony Dream Johnson. Yeah, go over there with Anthony Dream Johnson. Okay, go over there with any of those major white manosphere creators and say, hey, guys, as a black man now, go, hey, guys, let's have a topic of discussion where we talking about what's wrong with white women. Say it just like that and see if them white men be like, have you lost your damn mind, nigga? They'll probably call you a nigga straight to your face. This is our women. We gonna deal with them, not your little black ass. Because they know how that would make them look. Do you understand that? But see, these Sambos, they don't get that. They think it's cool to sit up there with people of the oppressor class and talk about our women. Oh, boy, that's disgusting, man. But you know what? Let's finish analyzing this. There's more to get to.
Or Africans, yeah, I wish immigration let my Africans in. So now you just straight owning Africans now? I thought they work with you. Listen, I got people that work with me in the African continent in many countries. And my motto, even black Americans work with me too, okay? And what I say about people, I say, you work with me. I don't call nobody my anything. She let her, see, the thing is, she exposed herself, and that's good. That's good. That is good. But some of you dudes have hate black women so much that you will go follow a woman that, because let me tell you something, growing up in the Midwest and the way she came across, and she admitted she did it for money. When B. Taylor pressed her that time, say, why are you so much into our issues for? Like, what's up with that? Oh, I'm into really to make money, to be honest. She admitted what she was about. But it didn't matter to a lot of you black men. Because you got a hatred for black women so bad that you'll go over there with a I'm gonna call it what it is, a white supremacist woman. Because if you were sitting with Nick Fuentes and he talks about literally, you know who he is, about basically replacement theory. And she, well, if you think about it like that, it's not really that bad. I mean, the girl literally agreed with everything Nick Fuentes said. Everything. This dude is alt-right. This dude is, storm the cap, all that stuff. He's all into that. And this is what happens also when a female don't have a mind of her own and she stole everything that she speaks about from other people. When you have a time to actually think for yourself, you can't. So you got to agree with everything people say.
Phil is absolutely right about that, but I'm going to add something to what Brother Phil just said. And you can verify this because, see, when I speak to you all over here and I point out these things, I give you things that you can go and look at in the real world and say, you know what, GBS? That's exactly what you said. Let me tell you the other reason why she didn't give Nick Fuentes any pushback besides just agreeing with his white supremacist ideas. Go back and look at when Donald Trump first won the presidency, right? Go back and look at that. No matter how many black women in the feminist movement thought they had white women as allies, when it was time to vote, what did white women do? They supported the vote of white men and voted for Donald Trump. Look at when they came to appoint Brett Kavanaugh in the Supreme Court. Okay. All those allegations of sexual assault against him, they were like, yeah, all that Me Too and Believe Our Women, they were like, it's time to support white men. Time after time, they keep showing you that. This is why we keep telling you, what black women, you don't have no damn allies in that white feminist movement. When it comes down to it, they're going to support their men. So now what does this have to do with Pearly? Let me tell you what it has to do with them. When there's a white man and a white woman in a room, that white woman know damn well to defer to that white man when it comes to issues of race. Do you understand me? When it comes to issues of race, they know not to push back against white men publicly. They know better than that. If you think I'm wrong about that, let me show you another example. About, what was it, 2 years ago? Remember that little old, oh boy, this little old alabaster face healer, another healer monster, Tommy Lauren. Remember when she came out and called herself gonna wag the finger at white men? What did white men do? They were like, oh, really? Hold up, bitch. We were the one that helped get you in your position. Hold up. We got to check one. When them white men got on her ass, what did she do? She came out immediately and apologized. I give white men that. They understand how to stay on that code of white supremacy together. And notice Tommy Lauren hadn't tried nothing else like that. So that's the reason why she didn't go against Nick Fuentes. She know her role and plays when there's another white man in the room, even one that's younger than her. Okay? And if I'm not mistaken, I think Nick Fuentes is younger than her. To be honest with you, I got to go here with it. Because I told you, I don't really give a damn about her and people's feelings. That woman, I don't believe that bitch is no 26 or 27. Now, if you told me she was 62, I would believe that. That boy, spilled, hell, rotten, spoiled milk looking hell. No, but if she really is, can you imagine? Oh my God, dude. You know what? Let's get back to it.
Now, I know Brother Kevin passed away and all of that, and definitely rest in peace. But y'all go from following Kevin Samuels to following that girl? And then that girl exposed herself? Listen, this is the playbook. With people like her, the Adam 22s and all them other ones, they come to y'all because y'all have the lowest self-esteem. You always talk about these people getting in our spaces and infiltrating and all that other stuff that they do. It's easy for them to do it. Because the biggest problem I have with a lot of black people, in a sense, I will say this, is that anytime them people come around, you all, oh my God, you heard what they said? It could be the same thing I said, same thing you said. And then just because they said it, oh my God, I'm going to fall apart. Okay? This is my model. They're not coming in. And one thing I can say about Kevin Samuels, he did say this. A few times they try to speak on black women. He said, you not about to speak on nothing with black women or black people because this is not your issue. Stay out of it. Now, Kevin did say it a few times. I heard him say that, and shout out to Kevin for saying that.
I can backfill up on that because, see, one thing about me, if I'm critical of somebody or I have an opinion of them, I will give a fair criticism. I can back up what Phil said because I saw that several times myself. Kevin Samuels did do that now. Whether you agree or disagree, no matter who he took what from, that is the truth. See, I stand on truth over here. I saw him do that. I saw him do that when Hispanic women tried to speak about black women on his platform, white women, a couple of white women. So he's telling the truth about that. You can still, that's up on his channel now. You can see that, okay? Now, in addition to that, let me tell you where the sweeping indictment is on all these manosphere clowns that's caping for Pearl right now, being that she stole what Kevin was doing and started trying to become the pale, blonde-haired, blue-eyed version of Kevin. And I'm going to say it. I don't care who don't like it. Whether you're a major content creator or a small content creator over there in that space, if you claim that you love Kevin so much and he was your good buddy and all of this, how in the hell are you going to support that bitch disrespecting his memory by basically biting off what he's doing? See, whether you like him or not, good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent, I honestly do believe Kevin thought he was doing the right thing with what he was doing. I honestly believe that brother thought he was doing the right thing. I honestly believe that he was trying to do that for a purpose. I do. Some people may disagree, but my point is this. Here's the contrast. Grant me that I'm right, that Kevin did care about trying to get black people together, black men and black women together where they fit in at, versus a white woman that don't give two shits about black society in no kind of way. That's despicable, man. If you claim that you was Kevin Samuels' friend, if you respected that man, you would not respect that bitch and you damn sure wouldn't be following her. How you gonna claim to respect that man and then you go over there and follow this woman outside of our community? Basically stealing everything that he was saying. That's not integrity, that's not loyalty, and it damn sure ain't high value. But hey, you know what? What do I know? Let's let him continue.
Kevin did not get on and say, oh, you as a white woman could come on here and talk bad about black women. Listen, I don't care what black women do. I don't care what black men do. We should have enough pride in ourselves as a black community to say, you're not going to say nothing about them. I'm going to say something about them. I don't care how modern she is. I don't care if she don't cook, clean. I don't care if she fight. I don't care if she twerk. I'm going to talk about her, not you. You're not joining in here to talk about no black woman. No, it's not going to happen.
I agree with Phil 100%. Because, see, I'm going to say something that's probably going to shock y'all. Y'all probably like, man, you tripping, GBS. But I think you understand that when I say something that I'm sincere about it. With what Phil just stated right there, let me tell you how serious I am about it. I don't care if it was Glorilla. Yes, I said it. I don't care if it was Glorilla. I don't care if it was Meg Thee Stallion. I don't care if it was Suki Hunter. I don't care if it's the lowest of the low hood rat. I'm still not going to sit up there with no white people and talk bad about them. Nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to tell you a step further. Some of y'all might not like this. If I was up there somewhere and they started talking about her, I'm going to defend that sister because she's my sister. Do I approve of her behavior? No, I do not. But that's a black woman. And at the end of the day, if you come at her around them people, hey, whoa. If anything needs to be said, I'll take care of that. You can't do it. You damn sure not going to do it publicly around me. No. I'll put all that shit to the side. Yeah, I can't stand her behavior. It's a lot I have issue with. But at the end of the day, I'm going to stay on code with my people. Now, if I need to address something with it, I'll do that. That's not your business. These are my women. As off code as they may be, that's my default position. I was raised that way. See, that's something else too, especially brothers in the South. We were taught that from an early age, man. It's just like if you had an issue with somebody in your family, okay, y'all may fight back and forth as cousins, brother, sister, whatever, but you ain't gonna let nobody else jump on your kinfolk. No, because see, show me again. We have to make this plain for the coons that want to try to defend the bullshit. Show me where they will sit up and talk about their women with you. And you know what, brother Tory Ellis, I'm gonna say this right here. Even though she's absolutely despicable, I wouldn't even sit up with white people and talk about Cynthia G. I wouldn't do it. Yes, I know, man. Hey, look, let me tell you why, too. I want to say this. I want to make it clear because I want y'all to understand what black manhood is supposed to mean. We know it's a bunch of off-code women in our community. We know our women do some fucked up things. But see, for me, as a black man, if I want respect and if I'm going to be in a position of leadership in my community, I have to exhibit integrity. And doing that isn't always easy, okay? You have to set a standard and a mold to show the younger black children watching you, this is what you do if you find yourself in my position. You see what I'm saying? Now, will I take her ass to task outside? Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, now we got to have a conversation, sister. Yes, I'll do that. But if they, hey, that Cynthia G, yeah, you know, she talks about black men terrible. What are your thoughts on that? Hey, listen, my thoughts are look, that's not your issue. That's a family affair. We'll deal with that. But you heard what I said. Ain't nothing else to be said. Interview over. That's how you handle that as a man. She may not have no respect for herself or my people, but I do. Understand this, brother, before we get back to this. And I'm just saying, I'm not chastising anybody. I'm just making it plain. I want everybody to understand that as men, we have to always have that level of integrity above where we say, hey, you know what? Yeah, I know she wrong. I know she off code. But with this is the path that I'm going to stay because it's not about her at this point. It's about my integrity as a man and what I'm supposed to set an example for future generations. So I just want to make that clear. And I'm not jumping on anybody for saying that. I'm just letting you know that when it comes to stand on code around them folks, we're not supposed to be going at each other, sitting up there with them so they agree with us because there's always an ulterior motive when they do that. They don't care nothing about us. When they do that, their intention and their goal is always to sow seeds of discord amongst us. It's never for our benefit. So let's let Brother Phil get back to it.
And it should be the same way on the other side. Listen, we talk about the men or whatever the men doing is wrong, fine. But you not coming in here, Brad, talking about them. No, that's what we gonna do. And that's when you have actual respect for your community. And you have pride in your freaking self. You know, we talk about another DJ Vlad. We talk about him too. All these black men go sit up there on his platform. I'd rather y'all go sit down and say cheese. At least as a brother. Go sit over there with him. At least shout out to Charleston White. At least the majority of his stuff is don't say cheese.
And let me go ahead and make this clear so y'all know how serious I am about staying on code when it comes to dealing with them folks. Charleston White, out of his own mouth, is a self-professed rapist. He said despicable things about doing things to people's children. But even then, I'm not going to sit up on no platform with no white person and talk about him. Not even him. Nope. Just want to make it clear.
And you're right. She's not even qualified. Listen, there's no way I can sit up here as a grown man, uncle stage black man, go listen to some Miss Ann that never been through nothing. She won't have my life experience to even be talking about anything. First and foremost. Number two, she's too young to be talking to me or relating to me other than stuff she heard. Sure, there were some phone calls that she talked to some people, and I say, wow, that woman's delusional. Yeah, we review things, sure. But actually watching her show, I couldn't even watch that. Because, I mean, to me, she's boring. She's boring. I can't do boring. Sorry, I can't do that. I mean, that's you. If you want to hear that, that's your business. But I can't do that Midwest boring stuff. I like flavor. I like seasoning and anything that I listen to. It don't matter what color a person are. I just like some seasoning.
You are absolutely right, my good brother Phil. Oh, but Phil is such a class act. Now, me, your brother, I can be a class act, but I told you. Over here tonight, I am not going to spare her feelings. So in addition to her being boring, and I'm speaking for me, because Brother Phil didn't say this, but I'm going to say it, she is hideous. I find ugly women, especially theirs, offensive. Look, come on, hold on. Wait. Let me just... This is a nightmare. Let me explain something to you. Let me tell you how serious I take this. Not only can I not listen to her because she's boring, again, this is me talking, not Brother Phil. I would consider this a punishment if somebody said, you know what, GBS, yeah, we've thought about your sentence and No, we're not gonna lock you up. You not? You gonna let me go? No, nigga, you're not gonna get out of this free. We got something even worse than that. What, you gonna execute me? Nah, nigga. You're gonna wish you're dead, though. You're gonna wish we executed you. What we're going to do, we're going to force you for the span of 1 year to be in the company of Pearl Davis, Just Pearly. No! God, no! Lock me up, please. I'll take a life sentence. I can't do it. No, that's how serious I take. Look at that. My God, that woman's face is offensive. Her shit looked like a crunched up used shoe or something. What do see? I'm not condoning domestic violence, but boy, I can understand, boy. I could understand how you could turn into an alcoholic. Could you imagine coming home to that? Shit. If that's the best you can get as a white man, oh my God, dude. The dude, I don't look, I know y'all don't like boy passport, bro, but boy, if that's all I had to choose from, I'll be out this motherfucker on the first thing flying. No, I know I can do better than this now. Ain't nowhere in the hill. I just want to put that up there so you can understand, like, no, that's a tragedy. She has a tragedy face. Help her sit up here and have the nerve to talk about black women. Bitch, fix your face first. That's what you need to worry about.
You know what I'm saying? You know, but I'm sitting over here, I'm looking at the Atlantic Ocean, and I'm seeing all this stuff going down. I said, oh boy, okay. I gotta come back and talk about this when I get back. Yeah, she comfortable, but she comfortable because black men, you let her in. How is it supposed to be a black manosphere and you let her in? How? Your issue had nothing to do with her. I thought your issue had to do with the women in the community. How does she get to come in and just put her mouth on everything that black people are doing? The white men told her behind, don't you come over here, get your behind out of here. They don't work over here. Because see, white men, one thing about white men, I will respect white men for this. White men will put they women in their place. And Pearl got put in her place with white men. She couldn't build nothing off of white men. But so she said, you know what? Let me go to the black people. Because see, black people, they automatically, they just love everything I do. And I can be basic. I don't have to be flamboyant. I don't even have to be the most fly. I can just take everything they say and they gonna big me up. And that's what she did. But the problem is just not her. The problem is y'all. Black men for bigging her up. They got black men in their 50s bigging this young girl up. Like, dude, are you serious? You in your 50s and you're bigging up a young girl? Because you got that big of a problem with black women? Seriously? This is what we doing? That's a shame. That's a sin and a shame. You don't want to support the black women that's on your team. Don't want to support them. We're going to support her. And then she got your support. She get with a dude that's with the alt-right that don't like black men at all, right? She don't stand up to him. She don't tell him who he is. She don't tell him any of that. She just agreed with it. But so what are y'all going to say now? All you men that bigged her up, or you going to just stay quiet now? Or you actually going to be a man and actually say, you know what? I was wrong for that. I was wrong for sitting down. Let me tell you something. There's so many of them over the years that's tried to come to me and offer me money for many things. Offer me money to get in on what I'm doing. I said, let me tell you something. One time years ago when I really needed the money, one of them tried to come in, a white male, wanted to give me $500,000 at the time to get in on what I'm doing. And I really needed the money at the time because we were struggling. I told him no. Because I have a principle. And my principle is this. I'll let it fall before I take your money and I'll let you get in on anything I do. Because one thing I know about y'all is that y'all gonna get in a little bit and you're gonna take it over and you're gonna kick me out of my own thing I created. I seen it. I studied y'all. I wrote books on them already. See, that's why they don't play me too much. You can't impress me with money.
Phil is absolutely right about that. And any black business owner with sense would do well to heed that, because let me tell you something. I don't like to brag about my situation because I know it's not the average black person's situation, but my grandparents, the things that they passed down to us, this is the attitude and mindset that they had, okay? You don't let them folks in nothing that you do. You don't sell nothing that we build up because you won't get it back. I highly recommend you all go get that brother's books too. He wrote a book called Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy. Very good read. I have that on my shelf. And 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind. I highly recommend that you brothers and sisters go get that brother's work. It will be very edifying for you. Very short to the point reads that will help you understand what you're dealing with. Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy is something I feel every black teenager should read, to be honest with you. A lot of you probably didn't know Brother Philip Scott was an author. But see, getting back to what he's saying here, you black manosphere flunkies, you sitting over here, big up in this damn white supremacist, hard to look at face heifer, and you letting her in here, and what's going to happen is, she going to see what they do. They send in the Trojan horse with her. They see you sitting up here, you so enamored and dazzled by this white woman. You don't think that she's going to put other people in the same position that, hey, let me introduce you to so-and-so. It'll be another white woman. Then I'm going to tell you where you know you done fucked up at. It's going to come a time where they're going to have a white man come in behind her. Because she'll probably get about 2 or 3 more little white women to come in there. And as soon as she do that, bam, the next thing you know, the white manosphere is going to completely run that motherfucker. So then you can just drop the black from it. But see, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to tell you right now, man, I hate to say it, man, but Kevin Samuels was smarter than that. Kevin Samuels was smarter than that, man. See, this is the reason why even though he was associated with the manosphere and he came up through the manosphere, BGS Ilmore is the one that discovered Kevin Samuels, not O'Shea Duke Jackson. O'Shea is the one that put him out front on the platform. That's how that went. That's the truth. That can be verified. But see, this is the reason why Kevin cut ties with a lot of them, because he knew that was buck dancing Sambos. Now, he was a coon too. Yes, he was. And I'm not disparaging him. I'm telling it like it is. The reason why he didn't have Obsidian and the rest of them on his platform, now he promoted Obsidian's book over there. But as far as getting them to come on the show, the rest of them, just look at how they act. Kevin was trying to, what they keep saying, go mainstream. Kevin was trying to set himself up where he could have his show and be on like daytime TV or go international with it. And you can't make them kinds of moves with them people like that, man. That's why he didn't really fuck with them like that. And see, to be honest with you, while we talking about the departed brother Kevin Samuels, I'm going to tell you something else that I believe why Kevin really didn't fuck with him like that. They don't want to talk about this part, but you go ask BGS Ilmore, he'll tell you the truth about this. When BGS brought that brother over there into the manosphere spaces, they was shitting on Kevin, man. See, y'all be talking about the people that had questions about his sexuality and picking on the brother that's not in the manosphere spaces. Man, them niggas, when they first got introduced to this brother, all he was trying to do was talk to them about improving their appearance and their attire, okay, trying to get them to be more professional, things of that nature, okay? They laughed and clowned at this dude. Oh, they talked about him like a dog, man. So Kevin was probably like, yeah, motherfucker. Now that I'm up, I will never let you bastards over here. You know what? I can't prove it, but I would understand if he felt that way. They disrespected the shit out that man. And that's the truth. But you know what? Like I said, we're going to let Phil get back to it because we got a lot more to get to here tonight.
Recently I've turned down some money. Somebody else tried to say, oh, can I do this and that? I give you $50,000. I don't want your money. It's not enough. It's not enough. I already know my value. That's not enough money. See, when you can turn down money like that and know your value, guess what happened? Now they trying to dance to what I'm saying. And that's just how it's going to be. Because I don't need nothing from nobody. But for sure, I'm not begging them. Everybody can watch my show. Everybody can enjoy the show, and that's fine. But what I'm trying to say is to you brothers out there, you brothers, support the sisters. If you're going to do it, support them. You got plenty of black women that's speaking for you. And you don't want to support them. But you have this warped slave mentality that a lot of you have, where anything master say is good, no matter what it is. Once again, now one of them gonna come on here and say a word about nothing no black woman are doing, no black man are doing. No. Listen, I listen to critiques from everybody. I talk about it. I talk about people ball groups. But when you start talking about you gonna come critique here and in our community, no. I don't care if she's the hood rat or the hood rats. I don't care. You're not gonna come over here and just be trashing her. Let's talk about your hood rats. You can come over here and talk about yours. That's fine, but you're not coming here.
That's exactly my stance on it. You want to come on my platform and talk about your women? Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about how Becky is really the one that gets the most abortions of children because y'all don't count the one that she delete in college. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about how your women, you know, all this caring and you getting black folks killed even in present day. Let's talk about that. Okay, let's talk about how you treat little black children as teachers. Okay, you always discriminating against them and trying to make sure that they're held back and mistreated in school. We can talk about all the stuff your women do, but I'll be damned if you're gonna sit on my platform and I sit up here and co-sign you. Girl, that's right, Miss Ann. They sure do that. Yeah, no, no. If I can't go in your spaces and talk about your women, you damn sure not gonna come in mine and talk about ours. And see, let me tell you something, family. I'm gonna say something else that I agree with that brother Phil said. We see who the content creators are that doing it. But see, you got to hold the audience accountable too, because see, the content creators are not shit without an audience. And I will give the audience members credit over there because I was watching that stream that Obsidian did and the audience was lighting his ass up. Oh, yes, they were. And see, that's just sad, man, because Obsidian is too intelligent to go out like that. There's a way to conduct a sensible, neutral interview without being a damn coon. You sitting over there caping for the woman, man. I can't respect that at all, man. I never will. You pay attention to the people that still co-signing that's not content creators. See, family, the reason why this is more important than a lot of people think it is, there comes a time in history where there's a turning point. There comes a time where a culmination of events leads to a central nexus where you can see things clearly and say, okay, this means that I either got to go this way or that way. Everybody gonna have to make their choice on this. This is the standard we need to have with a great majority of things going forward. See, you can use things that seem trivial like this to sharpen our ability to stay on code about other things, especially with these reparations. Okay, I got to throw this in here because, see, the stance on reparations, you're not going to give us anything else other than cash payments first. Then you can add stuff to it. That needs to be the unified stance on that. So I'm just showing you how you can use certain things to help us sharpen our ability to stay on code. Let's let Brother Phil finish up.
But that just set me off, man. It set me off when I first seen it. All the videos that came out about that, and Jason Black put it out, and shout out to him. He put it out, you know, a lot of those videos that she did and all of that. Because I don't follow her like that. I mean, I have no reason to follow her. I didn't even know how many subscribers she had until he showed it. I didn't know. I don't watch that girl. I'm not listening to no young girl say nothing to me. I'm not subscribed to DJ Vlad, none of them. Unless somebody tell me go to their channel and watch something, I'll go watch. But I peeped them a long time ago. How is it, like, y'all talk about how black men struggle, business of black men, what we go through, and then black men is literally giving the same people that you say that's oppressing you and putting you down, you're literally giving them an economy. DJ Vlad literally makes all kind of money off of black people. He don't go make it off of white people. Pearl couldn't even make money out of her own community. She had to go to y'all. No Jumper. He don't care if you were starting beefs with people in LA, gang beefs, racial beefs between blacks and Mexicans. He didn't care about any of that mess. He was like, I'm literally white. I don't care what kind of consequences it happens to the black people in the street, the Mexicans in the street. He didn't care what he did. He didn't even care. But that's what happens when y'all let them in our business, whether you black or even Mexican. You let them in your business, that's what happens. They colonize us. That's what they do.
And see, to add to what Brother Phil is saying, Pearl is basically trying to be the female version of DJ Vlad. That's what she's trying to do. See, she come from money, but them silly niggas over there, they're going to make her even wealthier than she already was by disrespecting our people. I see what she's trying to do. I get it. So now, when you look at the situation where Phil is mentioning DJ Vlad and Adam 22, let me tell y'all something right now, man. There is no reason why them same goofballs that be going on Vlad and Adam, why you don't come to our brother Dewan B? That's who should be our version of that, okay? Well, not our version of that because he's better than them, to be honest with you. See, Vlad is an idiot. And I'm going to tell you why I'm calling him that. That man don't know anything about the history of music. Let me tell you something. You want to see some funny shit? And Brother Dewan B is a funny comedian in his own right. But as I bragged on my brother many times, and Dewan, if you're watching this, I'm finna do it again. I know you don't like when people brag on you, but I got to tell the truth. If you're not subscribed to that Brother Dewan B's channel, you need to be. Imagine a debate about music history. Dewan B on one side and DJ Vlad on the other. He would dog walk his ass. He would go, hey, remember the scene in Captain America where he was running them laps and he came by and he hit brother on the shoulder, on your left? He would do that, man, so many times. Vlad would be made to look like a jackass. And see, then the thing about our brother Dewan B, if you came on his platform, he ain't gonna be trying to get you to answer no incriminating questions about anything you did. And I know that, brother. He would stop you if you was going in that direction. You know why? Because people like him care about our people. You going over there to people like Vlad and you running your mouth, then the next thing you know, you got a court case on you. You leave his studio, the next time, as soon as you step out the door, they got them cuffs on you. We were waiting on you to say that. You think he ain't with them folks? You crazy, man. And don't get me started on Adam from No Jumper. Like Phil said, doing things just to make money, but you don't care about the community or the culture. You're not looking at, okay, if you get this person to say this about this brother or sister in the community, you're not thinking about the ripple effect it's going to have offline. Start rocking with people that care about our people, man. Like I said, there ain't no reason why them same brothers can't go over there to talk to one, because let me be clear. They know who that brother is. They know who he is. Don't you think they don't? They know who Dewan B is. They could go over there and give him those interviews, and it would be classy, it would be professional, and it would be something that our people would get behind. But see, you know, it is what it is on that. Let's let Brother Phil continue.
They've been colonizers from day one. They don't know nothing else. They don't know how to be equal to you. When they come in, they trying to worm their way in to take over something. That's what they do. They've done that for hundreds of years. I'm not lying on them. You can do the research on what I'm saying. I'm not lying on nobody. So that's just what you see with them. It's just the colonizing ways. But y'all, once again, y'all got to take responsibility. Black men got to take responsibility. And you're not taking it. It's just that simple. I don't want to hear no talk about no women or black women or whatever. Because ain't no black women propped up Miss Ann. Ain't no black women propped up no Adam 22. And no black women propped up no DJ Vlad. A lot of black men did that.
He's absolutely right about that. And see, let me add this point to what my brother is saying. When we as men allow things into the community as acceptable, the women go along with it. Most of the time, they'll be like, okay, well, they let them in. It must be all right. I'm not saying every single woman, because you got some women that's got sense enough to say, hey, whoa, this shit ain't right. But for the most part, the women are like, okay, the men, let them in here. If you disagree with that, okay, I got to go here. Remember Jason Pope? DJ Kid, Jason Pope? How was he able to get access to them little black girls? Because they was all underage. How was he able to get access to them? You had silly Negroes bringing around, man, this the cool white boy, he cool. Nah, man, no. They could have stopped that by saying, hey, man, nah, because see, let's just say you did bring him around, right? Let's just say you thought he was talented. You did think he was the cool white boy. The minute that we saw you trying to get at young girls, man, boy, ooh, you better be glad you went down here in Georgia with that DJ Kid, Jason Pope, whatever the fuck his name is. Oh, boy, that would have been totally different. I'm going to leave that right there because, see, we handle things with the pedophiles a certain way down here. We sure do. I'm not saying it doesn't occur, but, boy, you better not get caught. You can't kick it down here around other black men if you're a pedophile and we know it. You better keep it hidden. Because if we find out and we can prove that you did it, okay. We're going to straighten that out quick, fast, in a hurry. But my point is this. As men, it is imperative that we say no further do you pass. Who goes there? What you doing over here, boy? Nah, because look, if you being harsh, GBS, if anybody think that, okay, right now, which black person can go waltzing through an affluent white neighborhood without somebody coming out there to question you? You talking about Karen? That'd be the first, hey, who are you? Who you here to see? Who do you know? Or the men like, hey, what you doing over here? I ain't seen you over here before. And they're supposed to, rightly so. That's how you supposed to keep your community tight knit. You're supposed to know who goes in and out your community. The same thing applies with our culture. That's something we got to tighten up on, brothers. This situation has made it clear who the coons and the sambos are, and we got to draw a line in the sand against that. Let's let the brother continue.
Well, like I said, if you do the research on that girl, and then the Insider wrote up an article on her recently, I was shared, and everything. It just, if you don't know what she done, then just go do your research while people talking about it right now. So, long story short, she had Nick Fuentes, a prime white supremacist, on her show, and one of the main things she said was, he was talking about slavery and reparations and all that. And she said that, when people talk about slavery, well, slavery, it just wasn't that bad. Only people who are racist say that. And she exposed her hand. On top of saying the My Africans thing. And there's so many things this girl has said and done. But let's see what you black men do. I'm going to see. I'm just going to sit back and watch y'all. I'm going to see what y'all do. Like, let me tell you something. Once again, I take the Jewish model on everything I do in relation to me as a black man. You cool with me until you say slavery wasn't that bad. You don't support reparations. Anything that's for black people, I ain't nothing to talk about no more. Nothing to talk about. It's just that simple. Anyway,
Salute to brother Tori Ellis for the Cash App, and salute to Black King Mines for the Cash App also. Thank you very much, brothers. But see, this is the way you hold the line as black men. And I'm going to say this one more time. I think the women might be a little bit better about this, even though sometimes they stick together for the wrong reasons. But I will say this. If I have a disagreement with a brother when it comes to issues about race, we're supposed to set that other stuff to the side. Like, I stand lockstep with Brother Philip Scott and every other brother that's called this hellfire and that's been sincere about it, okay? I stand with them on that. That's the thing that we're going to have to tighten up on, man. We can't be like these coons and sambos that's sitting up here kissing ass, man, and sitting up here giving her a pass to come at our people like that because, see, they just looking at it. She talking about the women. No, she talking about all black people. If you doubt it, how do you think she could sit up there and agree with the things that Nick Fuentes was saying? But see, like I said, by the time this broadcast is over, I'm going to show you something, and it's going to be the smoking gun that's going to knock all the other bullshit out the way. And the only way that you can disagree with it is if you are permanently over there in the coon class. Just wait. We're going to get there.
Of course, her followers don't care. I mean, you got followers, but I'm talking about to the people, at least here, that got half a mind and would challenge these. I'm talking about these old black men, 40s and 50-year-old black men lifting this girl up. I think that's the worst ones. To me, you are the worst. You 30, 40, 50, 60 years old lifting up a 25 to 26-year-old girl from the Midwest that don't know nothing, that come from a definitely how she agreed with Nick Fuentes. That means that's stuff that she been hearing in her house. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm not gonna keep y'all talking about Miss Ann. Do what y'all do what y'all do. Yeah. She said she 26. Said, whoa, that girl look like she 32. So boy, by the time she 30, Lord. I feel for her. Yeah, and that's usually what happens when she already about at the wall herself. when she really hit that wall, boy, that's when the Karen come out of him. Didn't this girl say in the interview with Nick Fuentes, go watch it. She said, well, Karens, they are necessary because they say things that maybe other people just wouldn't say. Yes, that girl said Karens are necessary. Karens. Karens that harass black people, call the police on black people for freaking nothing. Karens are necessary. That's your girl. That's what she said. But some of you silly 40, 30, 40, 50, and even 60-year-old black men followed that girl. And she said Karens are necessary on top of the slavery stuff she said. And on top of she agreed with the replacement theory. She said it. Go watch the interview where she interviewed Nick Fuentes. Yeah, she said she's pro-Karen. That's right. She said that. She said she's pro-Karen. She's pro-Karen. And at least she's open about it. At least she's open about it. But once again, not my issue. But I just had to slam you older black men for being so freaking sorry and simpish at the same time. That you got a hatred for black women so much that you go follow a little girl who don't know nothing about what she talking about, parroted everything, took daddy's money, paid all this money to get the game from black people, and then come in there and just passed up the majority of you on your own talking points. Like, how much more of that's like slavery? We invent something, they take the patent of it, and then they got, for instance, we created Jack Daniels liquor, but we couldn't get the patent of Uncle Nearest Green. He actually created it, stole his recipe, and say it's Jack Daniels. Uncle Nearest Green created Jack Daniels, not Jack Daniels. So y'all literally doing the slavery thing all over again, giving y'all work and everything to these people for no. My God, that's why a lot of times I'm happy to get away from a lot of you, because I'm so sick of that old slave mentality that a lot of you have in this community. I was so happy just sitting in South Africa, not thinking about none of you. Then I'm over there seeing things come across the wire, and I'm just like shaking my head like, man. But I just put it down. I had to look at the Atlantic Ocean and just relaxing myself. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in real quick. My impromptu live stream by Miss Ann. Yeah, I'll be back to making regular content. Like I said, I'm back in Babylon. I know, even though I wanted to talk about Sierra while I was over there, I still got to talk about it. I don't care if it's old or whatever. I'm going to talk about Sierra my own way, because that didn't make no sense. And other things I'm going to talk about. So anyway, thank y'all for listening. We'll see you on the next one.
The last 24 hours.
Now, we finna get to something that we got to analyze here too, because the next thing that you about to see, and this is already old news now, but we got to analyze this. You finna hear O'Shea Duke Jackson's take on this. I'm gonna let him speak, and then we're gonna address some things.
For me, have been very hectic in the community we call Black YouTube, because yesterday I released this video called Just Pearly Things Just Disrespected Black People in the Worst Way. And this video has over 104,000 views in the first 24 hours, almost 5,000 comments, which is a really good video for a channel of my size. And while so many people agreed with my sentiments in the video, very many didn't. But before I get into the monologue of what I want to discuss today, or kind of more of the centerpiece of the discussion, I want to play the two clips in particular back to back so that you'll see why I am doing what I'm doing. And I'll just use those two clips and then I'll come back.
The argument was the Holocaust was not special and all countries have done that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so you're saying, why is the Holocaust special?
Yeah, basically.
Oh. Okay, what do you mean basically?
Well, yeah, I mean, because of course, we're getting into the details of it, but yeah, that's the gist.
Yeah, I mean, but you kind of deny it happened.
I denied some of the parts of it.
You deny parts of it don't seem realistic to you. You think they were embellished upon.
I think they're embellished, yeah.
The same way. This sounds, oh gosh.
Oh boy.
They're going to be in trouble. This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do is they embellish. And I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible. It was.
Right.
But they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
yeah.
I was like, stop, no. They all said I was crazy. Who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? Austin.
Well, but hey, you're very industrious.
Notice how they just got such a kick out of that when they was talking about our people. Notice they didn't bust out laughing like that when they were talking about the Holocaust. So I'm telling you right now, I want you to bookmark this and remember this, because see, when we get to the end of this and it's coming up, I want you to remember everything that she just said, and I want you to keep in mind anybody that's trying to say, well, she didn't know, then y'all blowing out of proportion. Oh yeah, you just wait till I show you what I'm gonna show you here tonight.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of people that would like to be a YouTuber because they'd like people to care about their opinions and like what they ate for lunch and, you know, things about my life that just make sense or whatever. But how many people could make a company and deal with the things you deal with, you know, like recruiting and, you know, because I mean, not on the same scale as you, but I do things and it's tough. You know, it's a business. It's fun in front of the camera, but behind the scenes, it's a business. And that is a German attribute, to be industrious. I'm Italian. The only times I'm on time for things is when I like get the time wrong, when I think I'm supposed to be there way earlier than I'm actually supposed to be there. Because I thought I was supposed to be here at 3.
Oh, really?
That's why I texted you. I texted you, I'm on my way, because I thought I was already 10 minutes late when I was leaving.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Blessing was more late African.
Well, he's black.
Yeah.
So the person that she is talking to is Nick Fuentes. This is important. Nick Fuentes. Now, who is Nick Fuentes? Well, don't take my word for it. Let's go to more of a reputable source. Nick Fuentes, if we look at him on Wikipedia, what does it say? And I know that Wikipedia can be off sometimes, but this seems to be what I would see from what I've researched about him accurate. It says this: sad music. Nicholas Joseph Fuentes, born August 18th, 1998. Is an American white supremacist political commentator and live streamer. A former YouTuber, his channel was permanently suspended in February 2020 for violating YouTube's hate speech policy. He is known for holding anti-Semitic views and denying the Holocaust. Fuentes identifies as a member of the incel movement and as a supporter of authoritarian government and a Catholic integralist and a Christian nationalist. Let me click on the term of white supremacist. Okay, white supremacy is the belief that white people are superior to those of other races and thus should dominate them. The belief favors the maintenance and defense of any power and privilege held by white people. White supremacy has its roots in now discredited doctrine of scientific racism and was the key justification for European colonialism. So
Now, keep in mind that he just read that definition of what white supremacy is, a milquetoast generic version of it. Okay. Keep in mind, so you can't say that O'Shea Duke Jackson doesn't know what white supremacy is, because again, whether you agree or disagree with him, you can be intelligent and also be a coon at the same time. Now, why am I saying that? I'm going to tell you why I'm saying that. And it should be pretty obvious. If I, as a black person, know what white supremacy is, and I see someone that I'm associated with, they should know what it is. And then they show me that they're going to side with other anti-black racists and white supremacists. We're going to come back to that.
Want to put myself into her shoes. Okay. Now, if she is not a racist person, let's just think about this. She's made the majority of her money trying to do a lot of collaborations with black YouTubers. She's even tried to reach out to me before. Of course, that's a no-go. All right. But if you look at the people that she brings onto her channel, Brittany Renner, recently MTR, which is Media Tourism Reviews, people like that, she's trying to build somewhat of a team based on the black community. A lot of people work for her are black. All right. Just black. So that we know that from just looking at her live streams. Look at her thumbnails. Most of the people are who? Black. Melanie King? Black. Okay, so follow what I'm saying. You have black people who come into your studio and then you invite
Let me pause it right there. Look at the guy over there on the right, the little skinny dude in a like, slightly gray outfit. That's that Sarah Garvey guy. The other little Sambo that had his mouth fixed on foundational Black Americans and reparations and all of that. That's who I was referencing earlier, in case you didn't know who he was.
Right, you fly out an American white supremacist who, based off his theory, looks at black people as below him. That's what all white supremacists do. It doesn't matter if they like black people, if they like black individuals. Some people even sleep with black people. But the core values are what? Whites should rule over blacks because we are better than them. Then you mentioned that the person comes late. She's African. Then you talk to him about, you don't think that slavery is a real thing or it didn't happen to that much in front of the black people that you hire. Now, I want you guys to put yourself in the shoes, right? In these shoes. Imagine you lived in Israel. You had a podcast called Just Pearly Things. Could you invite Nick Fuentes, who is anti-Semitic, into that podcast in Bethlehem, Israel, or in Jerusalem, or any big city there? And then you have Jewish people that work for you, and let's say they're late. Can you say, sad music, haha, you're late, Jewish person? No, you could never say that, right? The Jews would never even allow you to come there. You would immediately be shut down. But here's how other black people who comment on my channel take it. Let's look at Lucky and now. I believe in calling a spade a spade. She didn't say anything that isn't true though, at least not for everyone. You ever heard of African time? No one is perfect at the end of the day. Yes, too bad, Lucky. She is saying that in front of a white supremacist, which you give that a complete pass, right? And again, it's okay if it's a white woman. That's why nobody who thinks like Lucky Enam will ever have anything. Nobody will ever respect anybody who thinks like him, okay? No Jewish person thinks like this and successful. No Asian person thinks like this and successful. The blacks think like that and have nothing.
Notice how he keeps saying the blacks. I've told y'all about people that do that shit. Most of these black conservatives, black folks, black people, the blacks, people that's always talking about you niggas and all this other stuff like that, speaking in the third person. But see, I'm gonna break down why he was getting so much pushback over there, because he's telling us he's pro-black, air quotes. We're gonna get to that in just a second.
On that, it's okay in calling a spade, even if it's in front of a white supremacist who feel that your black employees are genetically less than he is. Let's look at somebody else. Christopher Walker on my video commented, maybe I'm a part of the minority, but I don't really see what she did wrong exactly. I am a black person who is most definitely pro-black, but I don't see the extreme nature of the situation, especially within the context. With the context, this is where he's really messed up. How can you be a pro-black person and you're okay with a white person who has hired black people having a conversation with a white supremacist and you call yourself pro-black? This is how sick some brothers are. I'm telling you, you expect some brothers like this, and no disrespect to the brother, but this is why black men don't have anything. Brother Walker, he's not a pro-black. You cannot be pro anything. Being okay with a white supremacist, making a joke about blacks, I don't care if it's true or not. No other group who is pro their people will ever accept that. But that's what's wrong with woke pro-blacks. Phony, lukewarm pro-blacks. You can never be like this and because they're pro-black. You're pro-buffoon. And that thinking, but you're definitely not pro-black. Let's continue. The first accusation was a big stream in a read.
Keep in mind everything that he's saying, because I'm going to wait till he finishes and I'm going to point out the problem with what he's saying.
But the second accusation was a huge reach too. Okay, so the first accusation was he's talking about Jason Black's video about, Africans being late. And the second accusation was a huge reach too, right? The second accusation was brought up because the stigma of black people being late is a stereotype we all participated in. She didn't say the guy's name because he's black. She said the guy's name because he was late and is late most of the time. She said African, then she laughed after the guy said he's black. Dima, stop the show. Dima, go back once the guy said, oh, he's late because he's black. And look at how she laughed after that.
Well, it's okay. Blessing was more late African.
Well, he's black.
Yeah.
In front of the black person talking to the white supremacist, Mr. Walker, let's go. That ironically goes to a stereotype that is portrayed towards black people. Then the male guest entertains her statement by saying because he's black. With the context given, is Pearl in the wrong for stating that her employee was on time, who is usually late by her joke? Again, context in the same way the guest white male is always late but showed up on time too. She's talking to a white supremacist who don't like black people, brother. The fact she even had that conversation with black people in the room is the wrong thing. That's why you brothers don't have nothing. That's why you're at the bottom of the barrel. That's why your women don't respect you. Don't nobody respect you, because black men, sometimes, not every black man, right? But y'all will make an excuse for buffoonery for other people to keep disrespecting you, and you wonder why you don't have nothing. That thinking right there. That's why black women don't respect you, brothers. That's why the white men don't respect you, brothers. And don't nobody take y'all serious that think like that. I'm sorry, I gotta tell the truth. No person of any race who love their people can accept that. That's why immigrants have things and we don't have nothing in the black community, because of brothers who think like that. But a white person, if you did that, they gonna slap you or they gonna try to get rid of you. Jews gonna persecute you if you talk about them. Asians gonna go to the Spotify, get your albums released. If you even talk about Chinese people, Asian people, gays, the same thing, but the black person makes excuses for why other folks disrespect your people. That's why you don't have nothing as blacks. Let's talk about this. Brian Brown stops. There's plenty of truth to it. Americans are lazy, especially the black race. I don't know who this person is, but this person, let's assume he's black. Now, Americans can be lazy, and some blacks are lazy. But if black people are lazy, brother, how are they 20% of the military? Can't be 20% of the military and you lazy. Or
I want you to listen to him now. He cooking, right? Oh boy, he running down stats about the military and everything else. Oh, we gonna let him finish up though, because I'm finna go ahead and destroy all this bullshit.
in sports and you lazy, or in healthcare and you lazy. Most black people work a full-time job, pay taxes. Can't be lazy when in slavery, the blacks was developing the country based off the slave labor. See, people who perpetuate these stereotypes about the people, that's why you don't have nothing. Stop letting other groups disrespect the black community. And this is why when y'all go to other communities, they look at y'all funny, some of y'all brothers, not everybody. And then you think that somebody gonna come and support you. The Asian man, the white man, he got pride. He can never forget where he came from. He could never let nobody talk about him this way. But the black man is twiddling his thumbs, some of my brothers, is thinking like this. The lady is being disrespectful just by having a white supremacist there, brother. But in the room with the blacks, it's already out of pocket. I could never bring a white supremacist. I have Africans here. I could never bring somebody in the room that there's a white supremacist and have a conversation with them knowing I got black employees or African employees. I just can't even fix my mouth to do that. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.
Okay, so we let him get it all out, right? He told us everything about why them guys in the comment section wasn't pro-black. Well, O'Shea, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad that you included into this particular video here the definition of white supremacy. And I've said it many times. He is not a dumb man. Yes, he did graduate medical school. He is a certified doctor. So now that we got this all out the way, that you are competent, you're intelligent, you have common sense, because you displayed that here in your video. I thank you for doing that. Here's the problem with what you said. You sat here and you saw the stream that Obsidian did, and you saw this man sit here and cape for that anti-black racist bitch. See, O'Shea, this is where you fucked up at on what you were saying in the video. It wasn't just one white supremacist in the video. Pay close attention because you smart. There were two. Two, not one. Two. The bitch sat up there and agreed with everything Nick Fuentes says. It wasn't just one white supremacist. It was both of them. And your boy Obsidian sat up there over this past couple of days here and propped that bitch up. Let's go deeper with it. You act puzzled as if why all those men were over there making them coonish comments. Remember all those streams you used to do back in the day where you get up there and you get the buck dancing and cooning, then you pull the streams down, you throw the rocks and hide your hands? I remember those streams. Here's the point. You can do whatever you want with your channel. What I'm saying to you is don't act surprised. You spent years cooning. Now, anybody can have a point of view change. As you get into information, you grow and you make changes. I'm not saying he can't do that. But what I'm saying is don't act surprised at why they coming over there, because hell, that's what you used to do. You make y'all sit over there, Angry Man, Obsidian, and you, O'Shea. You sat up there for years making the black manosphere a safe space for coons. I'm familiar with all your content over the years. I'm not some new guy that just found y'all. You know that too. The little strings that you put up and then pull down when you got the coonery and buffoonery. That's why they felt comfortable coming over there in those spaces. This is why so many were over there co-signing that bullshit that Obsidian did. And the final point that I'm going to make to you, since you've exhibited that you're so intelligent and you know what white supremacy is, you know what pro-blacks don't do, O'Shea? Pro-blacks don't call people like Obsidian that clearly side with white supremacists, because that's what Pearl is. Pro-blacks don't call them my good buddy. Pro-blacks don't call Brandon Tatum my good buddy. Pro-blacks don't call Anthony Brian Logan my good buddy. No, just like you chastising them, I got to, you say you want to tell the truth, right? And I don't give a damn how mad you get. One thing you can't say is that I'm lying on you. See, that's the problem doing. Then, like I told y'all, any black person that sit on here talking about the blacks this, you niggas this, always speaking about us in third person, you better watch people like that. See, you probably got a lot of people fooled with that bullshit. I don't give a damn who you talking to on the phone every day. One thing about that, I don't care what somebody feeds you. If you a coon, they ain't gonna be able to give you no script to make you not be what you are. Now, again, I'm saying everybody can change when they get new information. But that's the problem with what you just stated, O'Shea. And I get it. Let me be clear. I understand that. I know what the Black Manosphere 2.0 version was trying to do. They had a cause they were fighting for that they believed in. And they're like, hey, look, good, bad, right or wrong, we're going to stick together just like the women do. Here's the problem with that. And I've said this many times. Just because women do certain shit don't mean we do it as men. We're supposed to have a division of integrity between us that separates us from the women. Well, the women do it. No, we're supposed to stand on principle and truth. We're going to be men that are worthy of respect and leadership. All that shit that you was talking about, that's part of the problem too. When you look the other way on Coonan, y'all got whole pedophiles over there in the manosphere. And I'm not saying that you promote them, O'Shea, but you know who they are. Hardcore Tito. Okay, all the rest of them guys, don't get me the name and names. You already know Ramil Amir's history. You know who he is. Oh, you know these people. Yes, you do, because they've been on your platform. Now, am I saying that you co-signed the fuck shit they did? Nah. I could go on and on about a lot of shit. See, the bottom line is this. Let me get straight to brass tacks with this. Family, I want y'all to bear me witness on what I'm saying. If you have a corporation or you're a business owner or any type of organization, if there's individuals in your organization that are going against what the organization is supposed to stand for, which is smarter? Do you deal with them and excommunicate them and distance yourself from them people? Or do you just look the other way as if you don't see the shit? Which one would you do? I want y'all to tell me which one would make more sense if you're a business owner. See, that's the problem with that Black Manosphere space. The greater majority of it, not all, but the greater majority, they look the other way on fuck shit. Like what Obsidian just pulled here with that damn Just Pearly interview. And then the way he did it, that was so disingenuous. And Obsidian, I'm going to say it again. You should be ashamed of yourself. You kept trying to act like the issue was Jason Black was saying, well, she talked to a white supremacist, so he a hypocrite. Jason has never sat up and agreed with no damn white supremacist. That was the issue. You know that too, Obsidian. You too smart to sit up there and act as if you didn't know that what the main issue was. You compare Race War, the documentary that Jason Black did, to what happened with Pearl and Nick Fuentes. Two different things. I'll give credit to O'Shea for calling that out. He did say that, but see, you also said, I'm not going to go against him. Well, O'Shea, you need to question that pro-blackness that you say you stand for if that's your stance. Because see, I'm going to get to something else here in a minute. And one thing about me, I tell you, I try to be fair over here. I give credit where credit is due. I'm going to show you somebody else over here that was Manosphere associated, and he did the right thing. I'll give him that. I'm not telling you to co-sign him, to agree with him, right or wrong, in between. But I'm going to show you what he has sense enough to say. We're going to get to that in just a second.
And in fact, it is going to become enormous. Matter of fact, we are already at the point where the Black Manosphere is driving popular culture, and soon it will be driving the politics of this country and most Western countries.
Salute to the brother Captain PY2 for the cash up. I appreciate you, brother. And while we're at that, this is brother Dennis Pearly. Now, this is an attorney. He was manosphere associated. But I'm going to give this brother credit where it's due. I want y'all to hear what he tells them, because he's not going to miss any words. He going to address everything the way it's supposed to be addressed. Now, am I telling you that this guy's on code? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he did the right thing here. And this was after Jason Black put that on Front Street, okay? Gonna make this clear, because see, I'm gonna tell you something. I can't say how many of them knew of that particular interview that brother Jason put out. But even the ones that did, if he didn't say that and set it off the way he did, they wouldn't have said shit, man. They know they wouldn't have. But hey, I want y'all to hear what Brother Dennis is going to say here.
As I said, the Black manosphere and the manosphere specifically will get bigger with one caveat. See, the manosphere has been impregnated. And more likely than not, your new leader will be Just Pearly Things. Why? Because she is the most popular and she is speaking the talking points. Just like Kevin Samuels.
Keep in mind, if you're looking at it, let me take this banner down because I want you to see this, right? I'm showing you this for a reason, because this video that he did here, Dennis Pearly did, because I believe in telling the truth. I can call it without bias. This was done a month ago. Dennis was trying to tell these guys about this bitch. He was. Whether you like him or not, we standing on truth. We throwing like out the window. We just gonna stand on truth. He was trying to tell them that that's what's gonna happen here. I'm gonna let him get back to his own words.
You didn't like him either? It doesn't matter. He was deemed your leader. What you know now to be the Black manosphere, it'll be there in spirit. You'll still have the same people. But the loudest voices will be coming from those recent additions mentioned earlier. And what that's going to do is force you all to look around and say, do we have anyone strong enough to push back? More likely than not, you won't. Nevertheless, this young white woman who is from the Midwest somewhere, who grew up a very privileged life as a white woman, is sitting next to a young man who has these very interesting views related to race and says, oh, this sounds like the slavery stuff. That's what it sounds like. Mind you, she sits amongst Black folks every day and sits around and talks about our relationships. And one of the fundamental differences and things that separates Black Americans, especially foundational Black Americans, from every other group of Americans that come here, that slavery stuff. You don't know enough about slavery to refer to it as you just call it stuff? That's what you're telling me? And you Black folks who sit amongst her, you sitting there talking about relationships with her? She doesn't even know enough about your experience to refer to the atrocities and the Holocaust that we had to deal with, the genocide. She refers to that as stuff, like stuff.
And see, again, I got to give Dennis credit for this. He's breaking it down to a bunch of these coons and Sambos. And now, if you go and look at the chat room, oh, they hated that. They hate, because see, one thing about it, Phil was right. Some of them guys over there, the greater majority of them, they hate Black women so much that they won't even agree with somebody that was associated with them, and he advocates for them relentlessly. They even tried to say they wanted to kick him out of there. I think they actually did. Or either he stepped down. I don't know if he's going to mention that or not. But see, he's telling them the truth. And just wait. You ain't seen nothing yet. He really going to make their asses mad in a minute. Salute to the brother Edward Berry for the cash out. Salute to my first sergeant, some chick named Star. Salute for the cash out. Salute to, let's see, did I say? Yes, brother Captain PY2. Salute to you also. But family, I want y'all to listen to what Dennis is telling them. And boy, he finna piss their asses off over here. But see, you know it's a sad thing when you have people that are among your own trying to tell you, hey, man, this ain't the right way to do it, brother. And they turn on them. And see, here's another thing I'm going to mention, too. This is something that I hope the sister Danica Marie and Six the Goddess and the rest of them understand. A lot of their audience was manosphere guys. They were supporting them, but a lot of them had turned on them sisters. And they didn't do nothing but try to speak up for them guys. I'm going to say this to them sisters directly. You're going to have to cut ties. It can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out because they don't appreciate you. They're showing you that in real time. This will be the time to clean house. I understand that a lot of them help them build up their audience. But see, here's what I would say to them sisters. And they're smart. They already know this, but I'm just putting it on the record, my stance on it. If people that supported you have an issue with you speaking the truth or standing on integrity, then you have to ask yourself, do I really want them people supporting me? Because I'm going to tell you something about me. I don't give a damn about views, subscribers, or none of that. I care about the truth. That's what I care about. Piss you off, like it, I don't care. I care about the truth. That's what means something to me, okay? So that's what I would say to them sisters, man. Hey, if they're going to turn on you because y'all called out that anti-black racist bitch, fuck them. They weren't never your supporters in the first place. Let's let Brother Dennis continue.
Stuff happens. Y'all let her in. She ain't called Uncle D. They all know better. Because the conversation would have been over at that point. It would have took a whole nother angle. Had I been there. See, I'm not a safe Negro. I might say something that might burn your ears. But she obviously feels safe with this young man, him and his little grimace. You understand? This y'all girl. This y'all leader right here. Let's hear what else she says about this people in America. Try to embellish slavery to make it more horrible than what it is. Actually, we don't tell you about the atrocities because the people who could best tell you about the atrocities didn't want to talk about it. They did not want to talk about the rape of little boys and girls, the systematic impregnation of Black women in those breeding farms in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Maryland. They don't want to tell you, they don't want to explain to you that the reason we went from 400,000 people of African descent in this country from 1808 to 4 million Black folks in this country by 1860 is because of forced breeding. Black women were forced to have up to 18 children, some. The branding, the mutilations. And I know you want to compare, well, slavery's the same everywhere. They wasn't doing this stuff to other people everywhere all the time. Slavery wasn't generational like this. Slavery has always been a part of the world history. But there's never been anything like the chattel slavery in the Western Hemisphere. Never. Based solely on race. Generational. Yeah, white people were slaves, but they were sitting next to Arab, Black, and all sort of other people of other ethnic groups. At the time they were slaves. Everybody was a slave, not just one group of people because of their mutable characteristics, specifically their race. Miss Just Pearly things. How insensitive of you, to say the least. But let's keep listening. But she says we're embellishing because this allows us to have control. In other words, what she's saying, fellas, and I want you to pay attention to this, we're using shaming language to control you. So she's taking these same Black folk or red pill talking points from the manosphere and the Black manosphere, and she's using it to reinforce notions of white supremacy. That's why when you Negroes say stuff, hear me, because we're going to dig into this later on. Yeah, we're going to whoop your ass tonight. When you Negroes say stuff like, oh, the truth can come from anyone. It doesn't matter. Eventually, you're going to follow that person. And that person who's going to revert back to their culture is going to lead you in a direction that best benefits their culture.
That's the part right there that they can't stand Dennis for. I understand that this brother has made some very controversial statements in the past, but I got to call it like I see it. Dennis is one of the few manosphere associates that I've seen and heard, and you just heard it here tonight, call her out and associate that with white supremacy. That's exactly what it is. I got to salute that brother on that one. We may not see eye to eye on everything, But again, I'm taking like, dislike out the equation. I'm looking at which black men are actually standing up in good faith against that bullshit. See, this is serious. You can't play with this. All down my channel, if you go down any of my archives, you know I have detailed exactly how bad slavery was. There's content, I'm going to tell you like I've said it before, family. It's content that I want to put up about what they did to our people, not just in slavery, but during Jim Crow, that sometimes I'll be like, I don't know if I have the stomach to get through that, because y'all don't, boy, the stuff that some of y'all know that don't study is worse than you think. And it's not something I will ever sit up and let somebody joke about or play with. I don't make jokes about no slavery. That's not funny to me. What happened to our ancestors was hell on earth, man. A sister earlier said in the chat room, they used to use black babies, living precious black babies, as alligator bait. They used to kick the heads off black babies in places where they went to enslave black people, bury their heads in the sand on beaches, and take turns playing games, kicking their heads off. You have no idea how demonic these people are. Look up who Madame Lalaurie was, okay? Yeah. I'm going to have to get myself in a place where I do a presentation and really show you some of that stuff that I've been meaning to put on this channel, but I just man, that's something I will have to struggle to get through, because the thing about being well-read and very well studied, in addition to that, to having great grandparents that told you about these things that they saw, you can't joke about that. You can't sit up here and give this bitch no pass about that when you know what happened to our people. I didn't know how much Dennis knew about it, but to hear him talk about that, the things that I know really happened, I was like, okay, this brother got some sense. See, he talks about certain things that black women do, but he's showing me now that he would never sit up with no white person to co-sign it. And for that, he has my respect. But I'm going to let him finish telling you, because, boy, they didn't like none of what he was saying here. And he wasn't speaking nothing but the truth.
Just like she flipped the whole idea of shaming to call you out on acknowledging the historical accuracies of slavery by saying, oh, that's just a shaming technique. Oh, you just... That they're just using that to control you, because that's all shaming is. That's all shaming language. Do you hear that? Hit the number 1 button, family. Make sure you can hear me. GCLA, they castrated slaves. They did. They did that. Mr. Rhythm, she has no reason to speak on us. She's a GOP Hillary unsub. Yeah. And some of y'all said, well, black people had slaves too. Yes, but fundamentally at its core, it was a European systematic trade. It was a European institution. The transatlantic slave trade was a European institution designed to do what? Capture Africans.
Here's the part that I want to make sure that I correct, because in addition to many of the things, I too am a historian. Let's correct this thing about the black people had slaves. Now, he got everything right, but this is something that I felt he failed to correct people on in his audience. When you hear people saying, well, black people had slaves too, particularly referring to foundational black Americans over here in chattel slavery, and those of you over here know this, but I'm saying this so that young people that find this broadcast have an accurate depiction of what really happened to our people, because they need to know the truth since they're taking it out the public school systems. Anytime that black people had slaves, this is what happened. Black people that got free, they went and bought their family members so they could get them out of bondage. There was no black person running no damn plantation with slaves just like white people. None. That does not exist. That is a lie. And I'm not saying that's what Dennis said, but what I'm saying is it takes sometimes people that really know the history to be able to point that out. Let me show you why. Because see, you got some ignorant black people that'll try to, well, if they bought them, you sure they didn't run a plantation? Okay, let me show you something. I'm going to make this make sense. Think about this. Do you really think that before the civil rights era and all of that, before we had any rights, we were considered 3/5 of a human being and so on and so forth? Do you really think that there would be any white people that would allow a black person to have a rival plantation back then, doing what they're doing, cutting into their share of the profits? Just stop and think, does that make sense? See, there's certain things that you don't need to be a detailed historian to actually verify and say, wait a minute, this don't make any sense. Can you imagine what would have happened if a black person would have tried that? But see, this is what happens when a lot of people don't know their history, like some of the coons that was coming at Dennis for saying this over there. And I think, that's probably something that he either wasn't aware of or maybe he knew and he just didn't articulate it. But I'm telling you now, and look, the thing about me, anything I tell you, I don't tell you to just believe what I say. Go look up what I said. Everything I tell you over this platform, you can go and verify it. Let's let the brother continue.
Bring them to the United States and force them into labor against their will. Sensitive and tune yourselves out. I know, because I'm about to hurt your feelings. Nevertheless, black men, if you didn't support this mayonnaise princess and her channel, it would have died a long time ago. She doesn't even believe or understand with any depth half of the things that she says. How do I know this? Because I'm a professional at listening to people. And what I know is she can't elaborate her points properly. You can see that she's basically memorizing and repeating what she's saying. She's like someone singing a soulful song who has no soul. She's just singing lyrics. She's just saying what you men want to hear. And you lapping it up like lap dogs. And you doing it out of desperation because you desperately want that white woman's validation, fellas. Miss Pearly or Miss Ann is proving that black men are the only group of men that listens and follows the matriarchy. Why? Well, most of y'all got mama issues. And I know you're not expecting this from Uncle D. You know, I know. And I love you, brothers. Y'all know I love you and I defend you. But you got mama issues, fellas. And what you see Miss Pearly doing is white mommy telling off your black mommy. It's more like when you have a white elementary school teacher or counselor who calls your mother to her office and tells her about how she's treating you while you sitting back there with your mayonnaise and Swiss cheese sandwich on white bread with no crust, rocking your head and shoulders back and forth like this, as that white teacher tells your mommy how you supposed to be treated. A lot of you black men have seen that conversation and you waiting for it. You waiting for it to take place. It's that conversation that takes place in the school system or between your black mother and the social worker saying,
I got to give Dennis credit for this. It took some balls to do this in that space because what he telling them right now, they was furious at this man for that. They still are. Oh, they hate this man for that. See, let me tell you something about a lot of them little punks over there. I'm going to call it what it is. We seen how them white boy incels act, but you got a lot of little black incels over there too. See, these are the type of guys over there in that space that was disagreeing. Cause I should have got some of the screenshots of the stuff they were saying to this man when he did that. Trust me, it was bad. I wouldn't be surprised if they threatened this man. But see, one thing I'll never tell you to do about anything that I review on this channel over here or any of my platforms, I'll never tell you to go threaten somebody over it. We review the facts and put it out here for what it is. I would never tell you, hey, go harass this person or threaten them. This is a guy that hardcore in the paint advocated for him. Boy, they would call him everything but a child of God in that chat room, man. But he telling them the truth and he ain't lying about it. Some of these people had issues growing up, whether they had bad mothers or bad situations. Now they take that out on all black women, man. Get yourself some help, man. I'm not saying it to be cold-hearted toward this situation because that's something a child can't help, their upbringing. But what you can do if you survive that and become a grown person, you can do something about it. You have the power to get yourself the help you need and understand that every black woman is not responsible for what your mother or whoever did to you. Same thing on the other way around with the sisters. If your daddy abandoned you or what have you, don't take that out on all black men. We didn't know you. We're your brothers. Judge us off of how we treat you, not what happened or what your daddy did or other people in your family that mistreated you. That's for both sides. You see what I'm saying? I'll give him credit, man. It took guts for him to do this, man, because he knew what the backlash was going to be. Let's let him continue.
Things that you're afraid to say. This conversation is also followed by, don't tell them white folks what I do in my house. Next time you do, I'm going to whoop your ass. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know damn well what I'm talking about, brothers. Y'all made this white woman. Y'all empowered her. Y'all gave her your stamp of approval because you want white mommy to whoop up on your black mommy because she can't resist white mommy. And another thing, brothers, I'm mean. I'm very mean. I'm a very mean man. I can be kind to cats and old people, but for the most part, I'm very mean, but I'm not angry. Unfortunately, brothers, a lot of you black men are angry with black women. So angry that you will let a white person come in and disrespect black women and the whole culture as long as she shares the same disdain that you have for black women. Again, most of you brothers got mother issues that you didn't get the proper nurturing or protection from your mother while you were still young. And you still looking for it as grown men. So in turn, you look to try to rehabilitate the worst of women in the black community. You like these hoes. You want to rehab these hoes. Because in doing so, in your mind, you're rehabilitating your mother. And that's something you can't never do. Then lo and behold, this blonde-haired, beautiful white woman comes along. She ain't that goddamn beautiful, but this white woman comes along with her blonde hair and blue eyes and starts telling these black women off who stand proxy for your mothers. That's what the modern black woman is. And you're ecstatic to see it. The truth is, brothers, you black men are too lazy and unmotivated to fight your own battles. And you waiting around for that white savior to come and save you. And as long as that white woman sides with you, you black men will pack your gear up, you put your rifle away, you put your tents away, and you go home. You go to the back of the line. You don't believe me? Look at all the Negroes crying in my comment section. You don't, you being a racist, Uncle D. You just hating Uncle D. And this is why black women say that black men are stupid. At least black men like y'all, they don't say that about me. They say a lot about me, but they don't call me stupid. They call you stupid.
And I got to chime in here. He's absolutely right because, see, one of the other problems about a lot of them guys over there in that space, not just the content creators, but the people that was coming at this brother in this chat room, they actually do think that black people can be racist. Oh, yeah, they do. And so you would be very stupid if you believe that because, again, racism is not name calling. Nothing any of us say about or to a white person affects their jobs, their ability to vote, what community they can live in, where they can send their kids to school. Okay, we have to go through hell and high water to punish them when they legitimately do wrong things to us. If we were racist, we would be on equal footing with them. We don't have that power. Racism is prejudice plus power. And every time I hear black, I'm not trying to be racist. You couldn't if you wanted to be. Not here, not now. Dennis took more responsibility for doing the right thing than anybody that's considered a leader over there in the black manosphere. You got to give it to him on this, whether you like him or not.
And I know y'all don't like this, but you need this ass whooping. This is the ass whooping that black folks who came before us, specifically black men that came before us, need. You're cowards deep down on the inside. And you hate the fact that you can't admit it. Clearly, this young white woman is a grifter, and she's following the same damn blueprint that the white folks who came before her have followed when it comes to exploiting black men. What do I mean by that? They take our intellectual property. They take our physical talent. They co-opt it. Then they corrupt it, and then they turn it into white wealth. And that's what you see happening right now. And we got to start shutting down this nonsense. Non-black people should not feel comfortable speaking on black issues.
At least that thought of like.
So now you heard Dennis Pearly with what he said, right? I couldn't find out one line what he said. Again, this ain't about who you like. It's about the truth, okay? So now I told you, ladies and gentlemen, that I was going to have proof that Pearl is nowhere near as stupid as everybody kept saying that she was. Oh, just wait till you see this if you hadn't saw it or heard it yet. This is going to throw all that shit out the window. This woman is not a dummy. She grew up in a household thinking that way about people. And I'm going to let you hear what she says when it comes to black people getting reparations. And this woman sitting right here next to her. I want y'all to listen to this, right? Pay close attention to this. Keep in mind everything that I showed you here tonight. Keep in mind everybody that has something to say about it and their stances on it. Then I want you to tell me if you still believe that this woman is stupid. And before we play this, the entire time that we're playing this and I'm showing it to you, look at her face. Very important. Look at her face.
This is going to be hard for us. We can't do this. And they stay there. And so I would agree. Obviously, I would agree with that quote. Like there are things that just happen in the world that we can't control, and it's just a lasting effect. Like you were saying earlier with the tax bracket, there's effects to anything and everything that you do, whether it's good or bad. But in that, I feel like you have to, if it negatively affects you, how can you bounce back? If it positively affects you, okay, how can you take that and run with it?
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what eventually led me away from it.
I don't want you to talk. I'm sorry, guys.
No. You can say what's on. You can say what's on your mind.
No, nothing's on my mind. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. No. It's just like I'm getting red. No, it's just like I think that I don't want to say the wrong.
No, I know it. So I like having like conversations like this with the other side because I'm interested just to hear like what are your thoughts about
like the effects.
Yeah, the effects.
Okay, it's more like of course there's going to be effects. Mm-hmm. Like that happened for how long? I don't
think 400 years.
Yeah, of course. But it's more like what can you do about it? Mm-hmm. You can't do anything about it now. Yeah. Like in 2022. So the only thing you can do is try to be make right going forward. I don't think like they'll talk about reparations and stuff.
Okay, so reparations.
Bullshit, Pearl. Bullshit. I'll be damned if we can't do something about it right now. See, family, you know what I'm about to do right now, don't you? Y'all have seen me do this many times because I want all black people to be familiar with this site that I'm about to put in the chat. Y'all know what's coming, right? You can't do anything about it now. Oh, yeah, Pearl? Oh, no. I don't want you to just take my word for it talking about what nobody can do for our reparations. You're going to be able to see this for yourself. This site that I'm putting in the chat, and I'm going to put it in here about 3 times because I want everybody gathered over here to be familiar with this site. If you're not familiar with it, I try to give you things that you can use offline over here. Foreignassistance.gov. I want you to go on that website and look at how much foreign aid the United States, basically bribe money, okay, give to people that are not taxpaying citizens. I'm going to put it in here one more time. I want you to bookmark that site. Do not lose it. You keep up with that because it's going to show you just how much they can pay reparations. They already proved that during the start of the pandemic. They can print money anytime they want to. Notice nobody has a problem when you want to send billions over to Ukraine to help them damn Nazis. But this bitch gonna sit up here and talk about, well, what can you do about it? Bitch, you can do the same thing that you did for the Japanese with the Marshall Plan. You can do the same thing that you did for the Jewish people with their reparations that they received that we helped fight for them to get, by the way. So when you have Bernie Sanders sitting up there, reparations are not feasible. The hell it is. The same thing that you did for the Native Americans, okay? Oh, I can go on and on. Oh boy, if I ever put together that broadcast and show you just how many times America has paid people, you think about it. The Jews get the double dip. They got reparations from Germany and America. But see, I'm going to tell you why. And this is why I give the Jews credit. I'm going to tell you why they got reparations from America. A lot of people say, well, hell, the Holocaust didn't happen on American soil. Oh, it didn't. But when you go back and do some digging and look at exactly who helped them pull that off, do you know that a lot of the equipment and certain types of technology, the Germans got it from American business owners? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. When them Jews found out, for example, like the little punch sheet cards or whatever, they were made by Xerox. Oh, yeah. See, y'all didn't know that, did you? Some of y'all probably did. I have a very intelligent audience. But what I'm saying is when them Jews, when they decide to say, okay, we going after everybody that has something to do with this, this is what being on codes mean. They were like this. We don't give a damn if your ass was the cook and you live to be 90-something years old. If you was a Nazi, we find you, bring your ass into this damn courtroom. You need to go in and finish out the rest of your days in a prison cell. Oh, you was responsible for the little timesheet card, the document how many people was going to the concentration camp? Come on, you got to get some of this too. I don't blame them for that. That's how you supposed to do it. We have yet to have our Nuremberg trial. This pasty-faced bitch sitting up here talking about ain't nothing you can do about it. This is a white supremacist right here. This is why I said what I said earlier in the broadcast, why people talking about, well, she just had one white supremacist. No, motherfucker, it was two of them. Anybody sitting here talking like this just because she's grinning and smiling and she's a white woman, you think that don't make her a white supremacist? Listen to what she's saying. But you know what? Never mind. I'm going to let her tell you.
Seen on a lot of videos, like when the law was passed that there no slavery, abolished it, we were supposed to, well, not me, the slaves were supposed to get 40 acres of mule. And I remember asking my mom, like, who agreed on that? Why 40 acres of mule? And she like was telling me like, well, back in the day, 40 acres, you had your own land, and a mule, you were able to put crops and be able to plant and have land to do that. And so now I've seen people calculate it like, well, if we go back and we talk about, we get the 40 acres and a mule, and then like they calculated like what else would we get now, and like what's the word, when interest, they've taxed interest on it, and they're like, we're owed like a lot of money. I'm like, if that was true today, I would be a rich person if we got reparations. So I don't know if that's possible or if that's ever going to be a thing, but
so the problem with reparations is what percentage of white people do you think actually owned slaves in the US?
Bitch, it don't matter what the percentage was. My ancestors were worked to death. The slave masters were compensated, and we have not been. I don't give a damn what percentage it was. That is a legally owed debt, and you will pay it.
I don't know.
It's less than 1%.
Really?
Yeah. And the other problem is money doesn't solve poverty. If money solved poverty, then like people could just throw money at a poor person and they'd become rich. But lottery winners, they're like, they go broke faster than anyone.
Now do you see why this is a white supremacist? Family, we gonna make it plain because we gonna wrap it up in a minute. But I want to show you this, to show you that this woman is nowhere near as stupid as she pretends to be. If I owe you some money, for whatever the reason, then come time to pay it back, I come tell you, well, you know, I should just keep it because you just gonna fuck it up anyway. See, these are those same white supremacist conservative talking points. This lets you know this bitch got this from her upbringing. She didn't just start talking like that. Look at this motherfucker's face. Look at it. If you owe a debt, you don't worry about what I do with the money. You owe. You pay my debt. This whole thing, well, they go broke quicker than anybody. No, that's not your fucking business what happened. It's a debt that must be paid. They don't tell other white people that when they're owed something. See, this is why you should be offended when you hear these bitches say this kind of shit. They don't tell their people, well, you shouldn't pay that because you're just going to waste the money. No, they want theirs in spades with interest. Understand the enemy when you see it. These book dancing Sambos that sitting up here caping for this woman, it ain't no hope for them. And everybody ain't gonna make it, nor should everybody make it. But those of us over here, we drawing a line in the sand.
Yeah, it's about like managing money and being able to run a business. Like I think reparations possibly at the time, like at the time, but you can't like how you're making people that didn't do anything pay for something their great grandparents did. Even if you did the direct descendants, like most people immigrated here after slavery. Like I have a grandparent from Lithuania or a great grandparent from Lithuania.
Oh, you're saying that. Okay, I thought. Okay,
and you have to understand and then what about the white people that fought on the other side?
That fought against.
Yeah. So it's almost like I just don't know how that would work.
It's like okay, I understand what you're saying.
It'll work the same way reparations are paid for other people. And Pearl, your family immigrated here. Let me tell you why you owe, you funky bitch. You owe because you saw what was going on with my ancestors. You wanted a piece of that. So any of you that came over here and classified as white, yep, you got to cut that check too.
Like you're grouping everybody, all the white people together, when it's like, my descendants didn't have nothing to do. We were elsewhere when all this stuff was happening in the States. Okay, I can understand that.
Yeah. And so I just don't know how they would do it in a way that would like make sense. Like back then, sure. And then you have to understand, like, how many people really own plantations? That was really only the super rich people.
You go in the South, they're everywhere.
What?
I don't care how little it was. And she's lying about the numbers. Because, see, I know what the numbers are. Boy, I'm going to have to go ahead and put that together. I don't care if it was one person. You owe for that. The same way you look at your people is the way I look at mine. When your people are aggrieved, you don't trot out these types of excuses.
It wasn't that many people.
Bitch, so what you saying that excuses it? Do you understand what kind of a demon you looking at here on this screen, family? Look at this motherfucker's face. And these bastards sitting over here caping for this piece of shit. Disgusting.
I said, you go in the South, they're everywhere.
No, I know, but who owns them? That's what I'm saying. Like it's not the majority of people back then.
Yeah.
Most people lived in the North. Like, because you have to think about how that was a lot of land. So you had to be a landowner.
Yeah.
So that's like the 1% back then.
Okay. So I'm glad you said that. I got my mind thinking. It's not bad to like.
No, it's not. The internet scares me a little bit.
But it's good to have these conversations. Like people want like to have these conversations, but it's like they're not open enough to be able to sit down with someone and say, this is my opinion on a hard topic like slavery. This is my opinion. It's like, well, how can you say that when this, that, and third? It's like, I just want to hear what your thoughts are. And then you get me thinking and I get you thinking. It's like, oh, okay, I never thought of it like that. Because if we did have reparations today, I think a lot of Black people would be out of tough situations, but I also think a lot of Black people would put themselves in worse situations because they don't know how to manage money. And if like the first steps, if they were like, okay, we're going to give you reparations, but you have to go through a class where it teaches you how to properly manage your money, because
no other group that has been paid reparations in this country goes through a class to teach them to manage money. They just cut the goddamn check. See, others, I'm gonna have some closing thoughts on this, but I'm gonna let her finish this because that just pissed me off right there.
Once it runs out, we ain't giving you no more. We ain't nothing. And so I think that would be a great first step to be able to, if reparations was a thing, to be able to help the Black community.
I don't see government handouts helping, like a little bit, right? I think like maybe initially, but I don't see evidence that that's super.
Do white people say that about the Homestead Act? Huh? Did white people say that about the Montgomery GI Bill? Huh? When they was giving all that free land? Did white people say that when the government paid for them to learn how to farm and then paid for them to have the equipment on top of giving them free land? Do white people say that, huh, Pearly? You raggedy white supremacist bitch, you.
Super helpful because you take the homeless population. How many of them are using that $600 a month
to like pocket or invest in something.
Like over a certain age, I think if you're homeless, like you've made choices.
Did you hear what they said? $600 to a homeless person? Most of that money would be spent up for them trying to find somewhere to lay their head for the night. That like $600 is a lot of money. This is disgusting. Oh, let me let this wrap up because I got some closing remarks here.
To get there. And I have relatives that are homeless, and the reason they're homeless is because they've stolen from every family member that's let them like live with them, and then nobody wants to take care of them anymore, and now they're homeless. And I know maybe like a lot of people are gonna say like I come from a very privileged position, and I totally do. But I just think, you know, you get out the house at 18. If you're 45 and still in that situation, you did something wrong the past 20 years. You couldn't have been good with money.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with that wholeheartly, because I have conversations with my family. Like, if we're in the same situation, come next year, we did something wrong. Like, if you are put into a position and there's steps to where you can change your situation, but you don't decide to change it, that means you don't want your situation to change at all. Yes, there may be obstacles in the way. You may have to jump through some hoops. It may be harder, but I feel like everyone has the opportunity to change their situation.
Well, it's kind of like you, right? Like, why are you doing this YouTube channel right now? Because you showed up on time and you were helpful. And so I said, like, come on, and now I pay you to come on, right? So it's like, that's an opportunity that you got because you showed up on time, like, and helped out early when no one else was really helping. And so that's what, like, I kind of have a pessimistic view of people in general. I think most people, like, don't show up and they don't try. And I think you could see it in the US at least, because most people get overweight over time. Yeah. And that's a direct indicator of how much you try. I think. You think that's wrong?
I don't know if it's a direct indicator, because I'm trying to like think. I think it's a source.
Yeah, one of them. Right.
One of them. Yeah.
It's like discipline on some level.
Because
I've been over 200 pounds. I've been big, and it was because I wasn't trying hard enough at losing weight.
It's just an indicator that, like you said, discipline. You don't have discipline.
So there you have it, family. I showed you all of this for a reason. And I saved this for last so that, again, now do you think that this woman is the dumb blonde that she pretends to be? These are my closing remarks. Brothers, what you just saw here with that black woman sitting up there kikiing and cacaing with her, let me tell you a standard and a requirement that I have for any woman that I deal with on a casual level or a serious committed level. I need to know what your worldview is. And once I find out that you don't know enough about our people's history, in order for you to have any kind of dealings with me, you must be willing to learn by me. I'm going to say it again, fellas. This is important because the women that you end up with, that end up having your children, if they think like that, that's ruining an entire generation. And I wouldn't be surprised if black women like her, like this heifer that was just talking to her, sitting there grinning with Pearly, she probably got a Brad fetish, because I don't think she's that stupid. She has to know some of the things that I talked about here tonight. But I'm just putting it out here for young men. You have to have a standard. I understand our women are beautiful, but that can't be the only criteria that you judge when you choose to spend company with a woman. You find out what her worldview is, and if she doesn't know and is not willing to learn, you send her ass on her way. That's a detriment. We are at war. We cannot afford people to be willfully ignorant like that in the face of white supremacists. I'm not cutting them no passes. I brought you the evidence here tonight. You can do with it what you will. So with that said, I'm going to close the broadcast. I'd like to encourage you to come to the Foundation of Black American Expo in Dallas, Texas. It's going to be held at May 27th of this year. Going to be empowerment workshops, speaker panels. You still have time to become a food vendor at fbaexpo.com. That's fbaexpo.com. It's going to be held at the Black-owned Black Academy of Arts and Letters. And with that said, salute Black first. Our brother Tariq is live now. All of you should join us over there, and I will see you all in future content.